drowning thing. It's silly time to learn to swim. Every time you look around, pain is the only what you find. You're still dreaming, head up high, trying to leave him all behind. Your black eyes betray you empty. Your tears can't heal you empty. But even the years go by, you're still smiling. I hear you empty.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Hey, what's good everybody? I'm gonna be making my way out of this chair finally in December again for the ESL Pro League finals in Denmark, Odense. You can join me, we can have a good time, we can watch the best teams in the world battle it out for the trophy.
Across, nice, no scope, looks for the other. Device! How sick!
Good luck everybody, see you in Odense.
Hello everyone, good evening, and we're back once again at the Australian Studios for the B stream. It is going to be the final one for match day 22 of the ESL CS Pro League, season number 6, North American Division.
Yes, well, the last one for us, not the last one for the entire season. But yeah, we're back, and it's been a while, but hopefully we're going to have a good show, and hopefully we're going to have some good games. I think we're going to as well, actually, because these two teams that we're going to be watching today, I feel like should be relatively evenly matched, so I'm looking forward to it.
Especially Misfits. I mean, I've been on the Misfits hype train for quite a bit now. Oh, we've always been talking about them, even since last season. I can remember we've been here multiple times having a chat about Sean and his crew, and we always just go, you know, they're around the middle, probably the top. Now definitely pushing to the top, especially after their success at the NA Minors.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen some good performances from them, not just in Pro League, but obviously in other tournaments as well. And at the moment, I think that they're actually, in a better position than NRG, who is their opponent. Now, technically speaking, they are, as far as I'm aware, actually on the exact same amount of points, but they do have an extra match to play over NRG. So, I mean, a good result today would definitely put them above, but even then, they have the opportunity still to catch up should things go a little bit right today.
Yeah, and it is coming to the crunch time as well. It is coming to the finals where every person wants to be securing their 6th position, or like the top 6 positions. Yep. So every single match does kind of count, and you can kind of, like we were talking about in the back as well, a little bit ironic for Renegades that they can finally attend EPL finals, but and then they may not be able to qualify.
Yeah, because they qualified for it last year, and I think, did they qualify for it in Season 4 as well? I'm not sure.
Yes, they did.
So Season 4 and 5 they qualified and didn't go, and obviously Season 6, which is where we are at now, they unfortunately aren't able to qualify.
There is a low kind of percent.
Well,
as we take a look at the standings,
real.
there's a low chance, and there's always a chance that we take a look at the standings for everything.
Yeah, I mean, they've still got a lot of games to play, to be fair. Like, but even still, I mean, I feel like they're in a pretty tough position, to be honest.
Well, they got to take the 2-0 against Rogue. That's for certain today on the mainstream. They have to take the 2-0, and that is where going 0-2 against Coast was
really hurts them. Yeah, exactly.
That is just a mad detrimental, because they could have been in the top 6 with that. You imagine a 2-0 right now, they'd be sitting out 10-7, which should have been the expected result. These guys have been in, you know, decent form. I'd argue decent, judging that they've won a couple of tournaments. Very good form at the moment.
They're definitely going from strength to strength, as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, look, obviously we're not here to talk about Renegades, but yeah, I would like to see them up in the finals. But I don't think that we will at the moment. I mean, it seems like it's going to be too much of a mountain to climb for them, unfortunately. Obviously, looking across the rest of the board there, like SK Gaming, we kind of expected them to be up towards the top there. Optic, they started off the season so well. They've dropped down a little bit, but obviously still up there in the top 2 position, which is good news for them. And then, you know, everyone else is pretty much where we'd, or I guess, expect them to be. Maybe would have expected Immortals to be a little bit higher, but then again, all those roster changes that they did have coming into this season has hurt them a little bit. And so Luminosity, I guess, has taken away that second best Brazilian team position.
Yeah,
at least for now.
For now, but at the same time, I don't think Luminosity's position for the finals is secure just yet. No. I mean, the scores say that Misfits are below them, but I think Misfits are effectively confirmed for this one.
If you look at the matches that Misfits still have yet to play, I think that there's a good chance. I think they're up against Liquid, actually, and CLG maybe, or Liquid and Luminosity coming up in their 2 matches after this one today. So those are some tougher ones. But even still, like this match today against NRG, they should be able to get at least a map out of that, one would imagine. And obviously that's going to put them in a good spot.
Yeah, a single map would put them in good standing, but they need a couple more to kind of just leapfrog ahead of everyone else. I think the people of chances are NRG, Renegades, and there was another team that had a chance of it, because there was like, oh, Luminosity, that's right. So Luminosity, NRG, and Renegades all have chances of making it into the top 6, where the top 6 are locked down from SK down to Cloud9, as you can see there, as well as Misfits. But that bottom 6th and 5th position may change.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, still options for a lot of these teams. I mean, obviously for us getting to watch Misfits and NRG today is pretty good because it's quite an important match for both of these two teams. And so, you know, you always like to see those matches that actually matter as opposed to, let's say, first versus last or something like that.
You don't want to see a dead rubber at this time. You kind of want to see matches where they have to show up. And Misfits still have to show up. It's not like, okay, we'll win one map, that's cool, we've secured our position. They probably have to take a 2-0 today. And for NRG to keep their chances alive, they have to try to take the 2-0 as well. So actually a very crucial match. This is kind of like harkening back to last season as well. I think it was like Luminosity versus... Can't remember who was Luminosity versus against, but Luminosity had their chance to making their finals. They didn't win the matches back then. And they didn't make finals. Like, they had to take a single map, they would have made it.
Yeah, well...
So this may be a very similar scenario where NRG, if they don't win a single map, their chances of finals are completely dashed.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, obviously for Misfits as well, it's, I think, still up in the air, right? They're not quite locked in just yet, so they do need to get some points still on the board. But in saying that, to get a 2-0 today for both of these two teams, I think is a fairly difficult ask, actually, because from what we've seen between these two teams in the past, throughout this year, it's always been really, really closely matched. You know, we're sitting like one map difference between the two. Over all of their matches so far. So I think it's like five maps to NRG and like 4 to Misfits or something like that. So, and even when you look at them on the standings, they're so close together. So kind of everything, when you look at it, points towards them being really, really closely matched. And on paper, that should really favour a 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, we all suspect 1-1. That's... I mean, I'm fairly certain the odds will say that as well. But for the rest of the teams at the bottom, unfortunately, they are the ECA Mountain Dew developmental teams. But at the very least, they gave it a really good crack. They actually showed some good matches. It wasn't a complete rollover for a lot of them. There were quite close matches in between. Unfortunately, weren't able to make it towards the finals, but they're definitely sitting around the middle of, well, not towards the bottom middle of the pack. So they're putting up some good upset performances, some good kind of play.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the bottom, let's say like bottom 3 or 4 teams, so for this season, were a little bit more competitive than the bottom 3 or 4 teams from last season.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at it as we take a look at the schedule. We're looking at these bottom teams and going, you know what? They took a couple of upsets off the top teams. They definitely played well. It wasn't like, say, last season, was it the Foundation/Rush, where it's just like, yeah, they're just getting hammered once again. So as we take a look at the schedule, mainstream, it is going to be Renegades up against Rogue first up, followed by Liquid and Cloud9. So Liquid and Cloud9, that should be an absolute blockbuster, but only the 2 best of ones for us today. It's going to be NRG up against Misfits, as mentioned earlier, so we can dedicate all our soul and attention into analysing the Rabbit and the
NRG,
logo.
Whatever that is.
NRG.
Yeah. So Mirage and Overpass, the 2 maps there. I feel like Mirage is probably the preference for both of these 2 teams, almost. Like, it doesn't make sense to say that, right, given that obviously Overpass has been chosen there by Misfits, but they've played a lot of Mirage this season, and obviously so has NRG. I think it tends to favour NRG a little bit on that map, to be honest, so if we're going to see that 1-1 split, I'd say it should go NRG's way on Mirage, and then Overpass, I think it's going to be a bit more up in the air.
Depends on how well NRG's CT side starts off. You're going to be... I mean, NRG 100% picking the CT side. Just depends on how many rounds they can get.
Yeah, we'll see how it ends up going. But look, I mean, I think obviously we're favouring NRG on Mirage, favouring Misfits on Overpass a little bit. But it's not like NRG doesn't play Overpass either. So, I mean, there's still a good chance for them to be able to pick that one up. But definitely Mirage when we do get on that, which is going to be the first map of today. I mean, NRG's been stomping a lot of teams on that. Like 77% win rate overall in the last 3 months. It's been their most played map in general and in Pro League, so there's a lot to go for those guys on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say a little bit in the favour, not too much. And
a little bit, yeah.
Speaking a little bit of favour, who's your favourite player?
Of NA Pro League? Well,
just
I mean,
NA Pro League, yeah.
When we always talk about this, I always say JKS because Australian bias, blah, blah, blah. But now I kind of have to do a little bit more Australian bias, but not quite as much because I'm going to say NAF this time.
Yeah,
I think he's looking pretty cool for the Renegades right now. Had a great performance, obviously, over the last couple of weekends. And I think he's looking like a good prospect for that team. And I think that team's going from strength to strength with him in the roster. So for me today, it's NAF.
Yeah, no worries. And if you want to vote as well, make sure you jump to the URL because it does influence everything. I think last week it was NAF second, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And number 1 was Magisk.
Yeah, Magisk. Interesting. I didn't think he was going to be up number 1, but apparently he's more popular than I thought he was. I think who else was in there? Cirque was in there. Sick was in there as well. We'll see Sick play tonight.
Every single player from NA Pro League was probably there.
No, but in the
just
top 5.
Different.
I mean.
Okay, top 5.
Yeah, being rude. EU. is Simple was number 1. So I didn't think that was really too much of a surprise, to be honest.
No. But if you want to just join into the results as well, make sure you check it out from PaySafeCard. The URL is just below there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go and do it.
Yeah, you better go do it, Jordan.
Wait, am I allowed to? Do I win? Wait, is there something to win? I don't even know.
I'm not 100% certain, but you should go vote for it anyway.
All right, I'll go vote. Yes. Anyway, Naf's going to get my vote. So obviously we're not going to see Naf play tonight. Maybe Sick will get my vote. Depends on how he plays today.
Yeah, not Sean. If Danny was here, he'd be like, yeah, Sean's my favourite player.
Danny's the Sean fanboy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll have to see how these guys go today. I mean, well, actually, we've got 2 of those top 5 in today. We've got Cirque on NRG and Sick on Misfits, so that should be exciting.
Yeah, it should be a good matchup anyway.
And actually, speaking of Sick, by the way, apparently he's like one of the top players this season. I think actually the top-rated player this season in NA Pro League. Not even joking.
Okay, fair enough.
You act like, what are you talking about?
Oh, no, because it's just like, if you compare it towards everyone else, like,
yeah,
as the top-rated, that's pretty high.
Apparently.
So if you want to win a trip towards Odense as well, where the finals are going to be on, make sure you check out the link below, thanks to PaySafeCard as well as Mr. Tweeday. Yeah, we're going to be traveling on a bit, but if we have time, I always wanted to go to Denmark, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been to Denmark either, actually. But sure, it would be great to go, but I don't think we'll be there, unfortunately.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe if we win.
Ways.
Maybe if we win the road to Odense.
Maybe.
Which is something we've been talking about this entire season.
My goodness, this is slipping really badly.
Life's tough, Kevin.
It's hard. Maybe it's like maybe you just heard it's like, hey, you want to go to Odense? No, you're cord slipping. So.
Yep. Well, now
it was just slowly floating out. I don't know why. Are you're pulling it? Or something?
No, I was not pulling it. My hands are up here.
Maybe that's the lure of Odense. I'm assuming it's in that direction.
The road? Maybe. I don't know.
Is it in that direction? Maybe.
I have no idea what direction.
I'll orientate myself later, so maybe we can go towards.
If like that's north-ish, then maybe it'd be like close.
No, that's west.
That way's west.
That way's west, 100%. So I probably have to point towards the camera and a little bit towards that way.
Okay, so that way's Odense.
Yeah, I think roughly. Maybe a little bit more like over there.
I'm glad we've discovered this today, Kevin.
Yeah, it's important, you know.
Yeah.
Geography is very important.
All right. Well, anyway, speaking of these 2 teams, NRG and Misfits, of course, who are watching today. And yeah, I mean, touching back on Sick for a little bit there. Like I said, individually speaking, I'm pretty sure he's the highest rated player in NA Pro League this season, which I thought was like, wow, I sort of saw it and I was like, oh, really? But apparently that's true.
I knew he'd be putting up really good stats. I was just surprised as well because I'm like, out of all the players in Pro League, he was the best performing. Yeah. That's a bit surprising.
1.38 rating with plus 120 KD. So it's pretty unreal, actually, when you think about it.
I was hyped. I was looking at a couple of stats earlier for this week, and I was like looking Calyx with plus 98. That's ridiculous already. But plus 120 over an entire season.
Yeah.
That is also pretty ridiculous if you think about it.
Yeah, I think the next couple of players were 2 players from SK, I forget who.
Probably Cold Zero.
Taco, I think, might have been.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. And then a player from Immortals.
Bolts or Steel?
Bolts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, most likely.
But anyway, that's not what we're here really to talk about. We're here to talk about Sick. Because, yeah, he's been having a good performance. So hopefully we're going to see him stepping up here for Misfits. Obviously, the other players on that roster I think to look at is probably Shazam going up here with your, particularly on Mirage.
I don't know. I think Amanek as well as David Juvek have really impressed me recently, especially in terms of they've just been grinding out Rank S. Every single time you go look at a compilation, they're always in Rank S, just chiming in, just practicing their individual aim ability, and obviously coming in from Europe, a very disciplined kind of practice structure, as well as having the discipline of Sean behind them. Yep. Now they're starting to perform really well. They've taken their time. They've been sitting in the structure for about over 5 months now. It's been about 5 to 6 months since they joined the lineup.
Yeah.
Roughly so. And now things are starting to work out. They've qualified for the NA minor. I know that doesn't sound like much, but they did take down CLG. They did take down all the other opposition. I think like they even took down Liquid once. So
yeah, well,
I think it was Misfits. It was the CLG or Misfits that took down Liquid.
Yeah,
they also took down like who was in the opposite side, which I honestly can't remember.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
But they did well to get there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this team's going probably better than the Misfits of last season. That's fair to say, I feel like. But anyway, looking at that, I mean, that's... Honestly, I kind of feel like NRG might be slightly favoured here on Mirage, to be honest.
I'd still say it's just like the rating of the NA minor, like qualifiers, because they just go, okay, NRG didn't perform that well.
Yeah.
Misfits did. And
yeah,
Misfits are in better form in the Pro League, so you'd kind of give them a little bit of advantage, but
I think the map itself sort of swings a little bit towards NRG. But to be fair, like I think I'm talking a little bit more about NRG than I am about Misfits on Mirage here. Misfits do play a lot of Mirage, actually, as well. So I would not be surprised to see them having a pretty decent performance throughout this one. I mean, like, I think it's their most played map as well. Like, both NRG and Misfits is their most played map so far this season.
We'll have to see who comes out supreme, though. T-side, most likely, well, given it's the NRG map pick, most likely Misfits will opt to start on the defensive side. So they're going to have a good economical control, make sure they get the rifles, keep weapons up.
Alrighty, well, yeah, you're right. They do start off on the CT side here, so obviously NRG is going to be on T. Let's see what they get for us here. Now, this round, nothing too crazy happening here just yet. No buys that seem particularly surprising. Waiting for someone to pick up a defuse kit on Misfits. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Everyone's going for armor, so Misfits don't want to let that bomb go down, and there's also no utility for NRG, so this could just be a bit of a steamroll Glock train into some sort of part of the map.
Uh-oh, that's not good. They've heard the bomb being dropped.
Yeah.
And I don't think they know that the CTs are pushing underpass, so they're going to come in, and there it is, Debajivek and Amanek pushing together. The French duo, they pushed Daps all the way back into kitchen as well. Where's the rest of the reinforcements? They've left the bomb behind in Sean. He'll make contact at short and get overwhelmed, but that doesn't really matter at this stage because the bomb's still lost. Daps just going to be waiting for the reinforcements to flood in, and Sick, no way in for him to the B bomb site. He's just going to have to chill out and just wait.
Again, like, he doesn't need to get into that B bomb site right now. Unless that bomb starts getting overwhelmed, then that could be a bit of a problem here for Misfits. But right now, they're quite content just to hold on to the bomb. Amanek shoots a couple of shots into his teammate's butt, but that's okay because he still finds himself a kill before going down. Fugly, though, nice couple of frags for him. Does sort of secure control of the bomb, but Sick's in a great spot here. Does find one, looking for the second as well. We'll get that. Just means ANJ, the last one left alive. 1v1 here for Sick, and he's got control of the bomb. Great shot. 3 kills for him on that pistol round. That's exactly what you expect from him. Stepping up again here for Misfits.
A messy round, though, in terms of that retake. Fights happening all over the place, but at the end, Sick just a little bit too sick. Yeah. A little bit too strong. Was able to get 3 headshots, especially the final one. That was beautiful.
Pretty sharp. So NRG now coming away with just the pistols, obviously. Not being able to get the bomb down, so they do force buy into this round. A little bit of smoke grenade, a little bit of a flash grenade there on Fugly, but not going to be able to use that too well, given the fact that you probably want to be backing that up with a few more utilities. So mostly what NRG is going to be relying on here is just going to be the firepower, more or less.
Single smoke and flashbang to work with as well. They're stacked up towards A, but they don't want to risk it. They don't want to push out and just get completely blasted by the M4s. You see Misfits actually opting to go for a couple more assault rifles as opposed towards SMGs. 2 for Masters. Yeah. Instead of a UMP or an MP7 or an MP9.
I mean, I think that might be just more of a comfort weapon, I suppose, for Shazam and Debajivek, as opposed to actually being a choice of, okay, let's get the rifles instead. I don't know. I mean, I feel like in most cases you'd probably be just better off with the UMP than a FAMAS, but maybe they just like the FAMAS.
It's better over a long range,
yeah,
so it's not a bad choice given against pistols because you're in a better position to hold ticket, better position to hold and play retake as opposed to as SMGs. If you get overwhelmed by 3 people, there's a severe limit in trading power. You can see Sick at the moment just doing work at the stairs position. 2 kills in the M4 already. Now Shazam also chiming in with the FAMAS, and that is exactly why you want assault rifles before Fugly gets the shot.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when it's a deagle, right?
Yeah.
So,
but it works in, say, with the P250s, if they're trying to overwhelm you as an SMG at close range, at the very least, you can kind of stay back and stay alive longer, as now the M4's been dropped. Another great shot from Fugly. He's doing damage so far, and this is exactly the early danger parts for Misfits. You can't drop so many guns against a deagle, because Fugly, he's now down to a 1-on-1.
But no time.
No time, unfortunately, but that is a mad amount of damage done from the deagle.
Yeah,
he does die after time, so he won't get any cash, but still, taking 4 guns.
One of them was the M4 as well, right? So if you want to take any of those guns through for Misfits, it would have been that M4, which unfortunately they're not able to. Second choice, I suppose, would have been a FAMAS. And I think it's a good point that you make, actually, about that FAMAS being better use at that long range, because given the positions that those two players were in, one was at ticker, one was at mid, and so obviously both of those are very, very long range angles that it makes sense that they're going to go for the FAMAS over a UMP in that scenario. Now NRG coming into this round with only the Glocks. You're not expecting too much out of them here, but we want to see a lot of kills out onto the SMGs for Misfits here, because they did not really managed to save too many guns through last round. They need to save up some money, need to build up that economy a bit quicker. And so most of the frags, though, do go the way of the SMGs. Couple on Sean, one on Amanek. I mean, Sick got one with that M4, but overall still.
Did it just say, this is really tripping me out, right? So if we go back to Sick after this, it says on the GUI that he has no head armor, but he has head armor when you looked at it in the HUD. It's really strange. Like, I don't know.
I think that, I mean, I feel like I've seen that before. I think it's just it's a bug. Like, it just happens.
No, because it's a pretty, because normally I go, hang on, why does he not have head armor? Because it's like, against Glocks, you want to get the head armor in the M4. Yeah. He did have the head armor, so it was just,
All right. Well, anyway.
It is a buy round.
It's a buy round now. And Shazam's got himself an AWP. There is a couple of the, the SMGs rather, save 3 for Misfits in this one. But NRG going for the full AK buy. Now they've set themselves up mostly towards the B-bomb site. One player over towards A, perhaps looking for a bit of a fake over there. There is a push into Palace, and Shazam does find one with the AWP there. Amanek charging out onto the B-bomb site. Will manage to overwhelm... Or it's Cirque charging out onto the bomb site. Overwhelming Amanek, rather. But that's okay, because we still have a lot of control in the B-bomb site right now for Misfits. NRG starting to get in there. That smoke does help them out a bit. They could potentially go for a bomb plant here. Can't tell, because can't hear. But that's okay. Shazam does get another one. Finally, the bomb goes down.
But they're both stuck on the site, and the AK-47s, they just have to find any opportunity available. Daps has managed to cross. Breezy will get the shot onto Devaduvek. Daps spraying through, will be able to find and connect on the AWPer, but down towards a 1 and 2. And Misfits, just playing at a different vertical elevation, will be able to get the retake quite easily.
What does that even mean?
Keeping 2 rifles.
Different vertical elevation. All right, anyway.
Oh, as in, instead of coming at the same angle and potentially lining up for headshots, one's standing at...
Yeah, okay.
He's elevating himself a little bit more. So it's harder to hit the headshot.
Yeah, okay. I get what you mean. 4-0, though, for Misfits. And the Sick is 7-0 on 1, Kevin.
Fugly's 8 kills.
Yeah.
The rest of NRG...
4 of them were on that Deagle round.
Also pretty crucial to Eagle round if NRG were able to take a round.
Which they didn't.
Which they didn't. And Misfits actually going very early on and picking up the double up setup.
Yeah, but it's just a pistol round out here for NRG. So hopefully for Misfits that they should be able to take this double up through to the next round. Sick does find another frag for himself. This time he's got the AK that was dropped by NRG in the last round. Daps coming, pushing forward towards that smoke. Does eventually actually take down Sick. So it's a 2-for-1 trade overall. I guess not too bad for NRG now as they're going to get that bomb down. Sean, though, does manage to spot out or has the spider sense tingling onto Daps there. And so we'll be able to take him down. And again, it is just Fugly left alive here with Deagle. Not able to get as much damage done or really any damage done this time with that weapon, but Misfits securing another round, and they do take that double AWP through again as well, which is going to put them at 5-0 and in a pretty good spot economically speaking.
That was unfortunate for Daps, where Sean, I think he saw the bomb carrier transition through the smoke, and then go for the plant, and he goes, maybe went for the open plant, so I'm going to spray where generally they plant for the open, and Daps was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh well. Misfits very quick 5-0 lead, and NRG, they have to make an impact in this round. They've got everything they want, utility, weaponry. How are they going to change it around? Is Shazam going aggressive early on? We'll be able to just to stall them.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't gone too aggressive. Like, obviously, peeking out into mid like that is in a sense, a little bit aggressive, but it's not like he's gone charging up to the top of mid or anything like that, challenging Cirque with the AWP. He's actually going to get back into the connector okay, though mid control now is established for NRG as they get their smokes down into the sniper's window and obviously get their players out into the mid area of the map. No one challenging from Misfits, obviously Shazam early on, but he backed out and NRG take the control of mid pretty easily.
Don't need to challenge for information too early because you can push other parts of the map, and you can see Sean as well as Devaduvek. They've already charged down A ramp and they've gone, look, there's no one here at A ramp. They've got this mid control, but they're not going to try and split. We can start stacking B. We can start playing retake A because we don't need to commit. And Sean and Devo pushing ever closer to the bomb. If they manage to spot this, I don't think they will unless they climb onto the B balcony apps. Once they do, the game may be all up because they can hear him coming right now. And Cirque and Fugly, they've got their guns. Oh my goodness. Fugly's been dinked down as well. They can't retrieve the bomb unless A&J comes behind through B-Apps.
Yeah, but he's making a lot of noise there as well, so Devaduvek should be able to hear him as well. He's going to get back out just around the corner into T-Spawn. Does go down, takes the re-peek onto A&J though. And so that's not too great. Would have been nice for him to be able to survive just a little bit longer because it really would have put the pressure onto NRG. But they still have just enough time to make their way into this B bomb site though. If Breezy goes down, that's going to be a big problem. With Sick now takes control of short. Amanek finds a kill onto Daps. And I don't know if there's going to be enough time really here for NRG. They're just losing players across the board. Fugly again left alive, alone. With 10 seconds left to play for, nothing he can do there. Sick will take him down, and that was a great round from Misfits.
And that's just the power of informational play coming out from Misfits. They're not charging him willy-nilly towards a ramp. They're just, okay, they go, we'll suss out what's happening at mid. They're using a lot of utility. Let's fall back and try to play, let's push for information instead somewhere else. They push for information A, and they go, they cannot come A through CD connector. We've got window control. They can't all bust our CD connector. They don't want to risk it. They haven't used any smokes at top con, so we'll just fall back.
Yeah.
So get the bomb. They have to commit to B bomb site. Not enough time. And as soon as Misfits still have 2 on the B bomb site, you're charging there. 25 seconds left. Easy hold. They're now just trying to do a bust out on A.
Changing things
worked so far.
Well, it has worked right now. They're out onto A. They've actually found the first pick as well onto Sean. But there's still 2 players in CT Spawn. Shazam gets 1. Sick goes down as well. That's a big pick for NRG. But Devaduvek trying to stabilize there. Not quite able to do it. Amanek needs to hit that shot, though. If they want to come back into this round, it's a 2 versus 2. But now NRG have some decent post plays. And Daps just hits a great shot onto Shazam. You would have expected Shazam to get that kill every day of the week. But now Amanek left alone. 1v2. Doesn't even seem like he's interested in actually going for this retake. Again, I don't really remember how much time is left on that bomb, but I have to imagine it's probably ticked away too much for him to be particularly interested. And so, yeah, he's just going to back out, save the AWP. I think the economy is actually still pretty decent there for Misfits, and he does get a bit of a fadeaway kill there onto Daps. Still not going to obviously win him the round, but that's nice, I guess, for Misfits.
Unfortunate for Misfits that Shazam missed the kill. If he was able to get the kill on Daps, there would have been a 2-on-1, and then the favorable retake scenario. As soon as it became 1-2, Amanek goes, our economy is not in the best shape. We have lost a few guns. We should still try to keep the AWP up, even though we've got the 6-0 lead. A 6-0 lead can very quickly blow out into a 6-6 or a 6-5 kind of draw and scoreline.
You see it, you know,
exactly.
Like all the time, all of the time. And I think that was probably a smart decision to save that AWP, given the fact that obviously there was 2 players that couldn't really buy there on Misfits. Now, there was 2 players that could easily drop, but just kind of gets all their money back in line. Devaduvek, great aggressive push there. Had the backup of Sick as well. In the meanwhile, though, Sean does go down on the A bomb site, which does open things up a little bit. Sick in a bit of a risky position here, just trying to dance around the boxes and keep himself alive, but he catches out Breezy. Doesn't manage to land many shots there, though. Amanek, though, does manage to back him up. And so it is 4 versus 3, still favourable right now for NRG, and Sick has bought enough time for his team to rotate across.
Yeah, this is just an absolute slaughter fest. They have no smokes covering anything. They've lost the bomb early on. They've lost territory at Palace, so there's no threat of NRG taking anywhere else. And now Fugly, last man left standing. He's got an AK-47, but a lot of hungry Misfits members. And this is the worst round for NRG to be reset at. You've did great work to get back in a round, change tempo up. You lose so many guns in that round where you only have 1 AK. All right, now Fugly has a bad decision to make. Either he goes for it or he has to try to save the AK. The economy is going to be garbage regardless. And Misfits will keep 4 guns. For now, don't know if Fugly is able to do more damage. But keeping 4 guns, NRG have done no damage to the economy. They've just allowed Misfits to stabilize once more.
Yeah, exactly. And the double AWP is going to go through once again as well. So that's something that NRG will have to deal with in the future. Now, it looks like Fugly is going to go for this and try and do a little bit of damage now. Probably not expecting to win this round, but making a bit of noise there in A main, jumping up and down. Not sure if that was intended, but it's going to draw the peek out from Shazam. And that may be his undoing. In fact, it's going to be Amanek that does get the kill there in the end. So the AWP's still the one to find the pick. But 7-1 now, exactly like you say, for Misfits. Does reset NRG just a little bit. Fugly has a bit of cash there that he could buy with. I mean, he could go for an AK and armor here, try and do the hero play. But just to get his money in line, or just maybe drop some pistols for his teammates. I don't know what the option is going to be here for them, but certainly Misfits are in a much better position than NRG right now. I'm a little bit surprised, because I thought NRG was going to have a little bit more in the playbook here for Mirage, but doesn't seem like they do. Really seems like Misfits are controlling the tempo of this game, right? Because we've seen a couple of, maybe, you wouldn't really say aggressive pushes into mid from them, but they've had pushes into mid, right? Where
it's all been calculated.
It's been calculated pushes into mid, yeah, that's a good word for it. And then they lose that round, right? But straight away, there's the aggressive push coming out into Palace. They send 2 players straight in there, find the pick. The whole round goes to, well, doo-doo for NRG. And so Misfits, they really, to me, just feel like they're playing their own game. They're not allowing NRG to dictate it. So they have gone for that force buy.
And at the same time, NRG haven't had enough buy rounds to really show what they have in the tank. The round that they did have the buy round, they've taken mid control. They left A open. That was their only mistake. And now they're going to try and change it up once again. They force bought, like as you hypothesized, a hero buy on Fugly. But you also have, on the rest of the members, Pistols, sorry, not UMPs, P250s. Still committing. They've just jumped straight out. Where's the backup? Flash is coming forward, but there's no backup challenging Sean. There are the smoke grenades at Archers, and finally they're going to wrap on Amanek with the... Oh, actually, there's just trades going back and forth. Fugly's still alive with the AK-47, but Sick and Sean still managed to make it work out. Fugly, though, he's been doing damage for NRG so far, and he's continuing the good work, but Sean... Oh, Fugly! What a shot on Sean. It's not enough to win them around, but Fugly has been getting a couple of good highlight reels so far.
Fugly's the only one stepping up right now for NRG, 12-0 and 8, where everyone else is 3 kills, 5 kills, 2 kills. Come on. Where's the teammates? That's what he's probably thinking at the moment. Anyway, for Misfits... Like, it wasn't a great round. I mean, they do lose 4 guns, but at the end of the day, a round's a round, and so they're still 8-1 up, which is good news for them. I kind of liked it, though, from NRG. You know, I liked the wall of smokes there onto short. It looked like it was a decent sort of a setup, but it was just a little bit discombobulated. You know, that one person jumping out early, 4 coming in late, didn't really work out too well, and it's going to result in not a great round for them here. Though at least they're getting the bomb down on the A side, and Sick runs out of ammo, but still able to find that kill with the USP. Overall, much better round there from Misfits, farming up a bit of damage and keeping themselves mostly alive. So, good news for Misfits now. 9-1, and I guess the pain train continues for NRG, really.
Pain train does continue. If they do take 5 rounds, they can try to bring it back. And I say try, because another buy round comes forward. 5 AK-47s, all utility you want for NRG, but what are they going to do in the utility? And look how Misfits are changing it up. What's the A bomb site? What do they have cooked up for us this time?
Well,
something
pushing to mid? No, perhaps, sort of ish.
Is that one underpass or is that one already at short?
It's
underpass. That's going to be Sean holding unders close. They've got 2 still contesting mid. Flashbang forward, Sean pushing out. Oh, Breezy caught off guard. And Sean's still alive with an AK-47. He's just locked down Under's position. Cirque, though, at least trying to fight top mid. Devo Duvek dinks one out. He's going to be mollied and flashed out. He has to try to make it work, but the spray connects on nothing at all. And NRG have the numbers advantage. Don't really have the HP advantage, though. Up against a double AWP setup, always going to be more favorable for the AKs if they're able to rush out and take territory together.
Yeah. It's going to be really on Amanek there, holding the B-bomb site. Assuming NRG does head in that direction, though, we'll see what Fugly can get done over towards the A-bomb site here. If he can find a pick, that could open things up over that side of the map for Misfits. And it does feel like they're kind of rotating back over towards A. I mean, I'm not sure quite yet, but they do have a really good setup for it, right? They've got that control of mid that... Well, they don't yet, but they are going to get that control of mid, and then they've got the guy in A main, so it's going to be a nice split. But Sean has the opportunity to come up big here for Misfits, and he will find Daps, gets out of there alive as well. And Jay, I don't think he's given away his position just yet, though. I think he's been walking that whole time, so Sean does not know. Well, now he does, but he's in a bit of a difficult position there. Kind of just stuck in the cutout. The smoke does go down, and NRG do seem to be committing towards the A-bomb site. Shazam again, needing to hit that crucial shot if Misfits want to win this round, but NRG don't have much time. A pick goes the way of Misfits right now. That could be the round.
But it doesn't. And now the round is wide open. Bomb plant going down. Cirque stuck on the site. Just looking to do damage as A&J will play retake. Sean, you can't peek out willy-nilly from jungle with no supporting flashbangs. So Cirque is still dancing around. Holding triple. He doesn't have to worry about behind a ramp. Doesn't have to worry about jungle. And Misfits will save once again. Double AWPs. Very difficult to try to play the retake. And they'll be able to take AKs off the hands of NRG. But another hard-earned round going in the favor of NRG. They'll take it 2-9.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to take it at this point, but still the double AWP is going to go through for Misfits. So realistically speaking, while this is going to hurt their economy a bit, it's not going to be really too detrimental to the economy at this point. They should have a lot of money saved up there. So they'll be able to buy through again. And... we'll see whether or not NRG is going to be able to secure 2 rounds in a row this time, or if it's just going to be the one.
At least have the utility and the AK to back up. Misfits Still the double AWP setup, so they don't have to reinvest their economy and still in an alright format. They won't have much to buy after this round, though. I feel like they've lost too many guns to force up one more round, and the mid-aggression not working out. They're just going to reset back to a default position. Going to play a little bit more standard. Shazam just peeking unders. He's got the smoke at CD connector covering him, so he doesn't have to worry about the pressure from top mid, and he'll fall back as the smoke fades. So very normal early round this time coming out from both sides. Just taking map territory before NRG will group up and execute together. Yeah,
I mean, this is actually kind of the most default setup I think that we've actually seen from NRG so far in this first half. Like, pretty much every single round that we've seen from them, they've actually just committed to a site, or committed to mid, or had something in mind, you know. But this time they've gone for a little bit more of a passive setup. They've set up across the board, just waiting for Misfits to push out, see if they can do anything that way. And I mean, it's not too bad of an adaptation, because obviously got to try everything once, I suppose. And NRG, they've discerned that now is the time to start making a bit of a move, as Fugly again is going to be faking over towards the A bomb site. Not really drawing too much over there. I mean, he's still got 3 players over on that side, and actually Sean going down over towards B. That leaves a lot of work on the shoulders of Amanek here. Needs to hit this shot, and he does. That's not the bomb down just yet, though, as he's still crossing in apartments. And so Cirque goes down, but that's really not too big of a deal just yet for NRG. They do have control of the B bomb site. They've got a player still stuck over on A, although Sick does manage to take down Fugly. So that's going to allow the rotation across here from Misfits and the favourable retake in a 3v4 situation.
That was such a crucial angle Amanek's been holding the entire time. He knows that no one has transition at bench. They can just retake. They know that they're going to be stacked up on site at Van and B apps. And there it is, Breezy. First man fall, Daps. He's been doing work so far, and A&J 2 up. Now it's all down to Amanek after Daps finds 2. They know where he is.
Yeah, but that molly, I think that's going to win the round. Again, I'm not sure exactly how close that bomb timer is, but he doesn't have a smoke. He can't do anything about it. He knows where A&J is, so he will be able to get that frag. But NRG finally managing to secure 2 rounds in a row, albeit at the cost of 5 weapons. So a very, very expensive round, all things considered, for NRG. And it doesn't really do wonders for their economy, but a round is a round at the end of the day, and that is exactly what NRG needs right now. I mean, down 9-3. This half still can go very, very much in the favour of Misfits. NRG at least is going to have a good enough economy to buy through in this one, and they're actually finally going to be able to get an AWP as well into the hands of Cirque here. So, I mean, things are starting to look a little bit up for NRG, but they still got a mountain to climb. I mean, they need to pull this back to at least 5 rounds.
5 minimum for him to have a serviceable half. 3, it's better than 9-1. It's better than... Well, 12-3 would be the disaster. Well, 3 rounds is probably enough. 4, you can kind of try to fight back if you've got the pistol. 5... and 6, or 6 the best case scenario, always on the T side. It's like if you get 6 on the T side, you can kind of say that's your standard half. You did a little bit less, a little bit more poorly, but considering that you didn't take the pistol, it's not too bad.
Yeah, definitely. But so far for NRG, they're still a few rounds away from the magic number 6, and we'll see whether or not they're going to be able to get there. Sean is going to go for a bit of a push here, gets the information that Daps is holding the line, but not really able to do any damage, and luckily for him, I guess, not being taken out. Because AK versus UMP, you might probably favour the AK holding the angle there. Still though, NRG going to try and push into A main, and Devo Duvek is going to punish them. I do think that they spotted out Sean as well, so overall, they're probably not going to commit to that too much more. And again, it's going to fall on the shoulders of Amanek with the AWP here over towards B. He hasn't been able to get a pick over there just yet, and so NRG do have control of that side of the map, but he is still watching the angle. The smoke's not going to go down to deny him a look into that bench position like you were talking about in the last round. AJ, though, does find Shazam, so that's one of the AWPs out of the field, out of the hands of Misfits, and the bomb does go down a little bit earlier here for NRG. So again, in a good spot to potentially pick up this round.
Well, they might have spotted Breezy crossing at bench, and now they don't know. Well, 3-4. Breezy just holding an angle, not challenging just yet, but Sean's going to bust out through market, and he's going to get 2 kills, as a matter of fact. Now it's all down to Fugly. He's worked some magic before. Can he work the magic again? Spraying down. He'll find 2 kills, but no more. Heavy damage done. Sean very low on 3% HP. Defuse.
Was he looking for a kit? I guess he must have been.
Maybe looking for a kit, maybe looking for more weapons. Sean will look to pick up the second AWP potentially. Won't be able to find it in time, though. So an AK and an AWP taken to the penultimate round for the CTs, when NRG should have enough money to buy up. Or they might just eco for this for the final round.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do, because they did pretty much fully invest in the last run, because they lost 5 guns in round number 12. So their money was not quite there. And so Misfits, obviously, again, going to be coming into this one with a bit of an advantage. So, I mean, bare minimum for Misfits right now should be 11. I think 12 is definitely possible for them as well. But the way that they're looking right now, like, this has been a pretty great first half. All they need to do is close it out.
Shazam, a little bit risky, has been spotted out, but he'll be able to back off in time as NRG just try to flood positions. Oh, might be able to catch that second time, won't be able to do so.
Well, he's really scared that there's someone behind him, but there isn't. It's going to cost him his life as well. As Cirque does come charging in there and gets the frag. Sean with a couple of stabilizing frags out from that UMP and does leave it in a 1v3 there for Fugly. Again, not able to repeat his heroics with that Deagle once more, but 11-3, Misfits have secured what I think was really where they needed to hit now. And if they do get to 12, obviously that's going to be a bit of a bonus as opposed to 11. But I think 11 is a very, very good CT half score for them. So they've really done well here in this first half. And it comes down to, well, first securing this round here if they can, and then obviously closing things out in that second half, because there should be no situation that they really should lose from an 11-3 or 11-4, 12-3 kind of a scoreline.
No, there are situations they can.
Are,
They're
but
just
like,
unfavorable situations.
Yeah, I feel like you really are putting yourself in a bad spot, though, if you're doing that. So
exactly.
David Devek managing to find a couple. Shazam gets another one. Sean gets one. It's all everyone chiming in with a frag, really. Misfits look well situated to close this round out. And, okay, you say there should be a possible scenario for an 11-4 maybe to be able to come back from.
Yeah,
I feel like that is, you know, the tipping point is 12-3.
It is.
Yeah.
Pistols will buy a little bit of time, maybe a few force buys, but I don't see any scenario unless Misfits, they're playing so well. I mean, I've seen scenarios with the Leicester teams where they struggle to close out against better teams. They start, dare I say, choke on their T side a little bit. Yeah. But this shouldn't be a scenario. Misfits have a clear game plan. If they take pistol, this should be over and done with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's 12-3. Take pistols, 15-3.
As long as you don't want your free Australian citizenship, you should be going up 15-3.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, from there it should be pretty easy to close out, even if they don't take pistol. Like, still only puts it to say 12-6 best case scenario there for NRG, which is still quite difficult to come back from.
Yeah. Halftime break. We'll be back in about 1.5 minutes. Tune in to see who will take the first map. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is halftime between Misfits as well as NRG. 12-3, though, very dominating CT side. That's what you expect to see on Mirage. Really good performance from a strong defensive team. Changed it up a few times. It worked out in their favor, but I feel like NRG as well probably didn't show us the full tactical depth. Yeah,
like, I mean, I thought that there was going to be a little bit more from them. I mean, to be fair, again, they didn't have probably as many gun rounds as you would have liked. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm a bit sick right now.
Yeah, that's all right.
Normally I would try and press my cough button, but that one was like, nah, we're out, we're done. Maybe like NRG in that first half. But they threw out a lot of, they didn't have a lot of gun rounds, but what they did do is like they changed things up quite a bit. You know, we saw some aggressive rushes, we saw some defaults, we saw some executes, we saw some mid control. We kind of saw a lot. Like they were changing it up a bit, but it just didn't feel like they really had enough real opportunities to make anything work. You know, they didn't ever have like a full buy where they had an AWP, they had full economy, like they had full utilities, full AKs, that kind of thing. So they couldn't really properly execute out onto A. They had that nice pistol round, sort of hero buy execute onto the B bomb site that I liked, but they ended up losing that round anyway. Overall, like they tried clearly, but it just wasn't working.
I've got a really good analogy, right? This is going back to my food analogies. So NRG, their entire tea side was like a tasting platter, but it was a very expensive tasting platter, and it wasn't filling. There was no substance behind it.
Your food analogies are the worst thing ever, but
that was pretty on point.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe.
Goodness. You're a hard person to please, Jordan.
I am. It's all right.
High standards.
Let's see, though. Is Misfits going to please me in map number 1? If they pick up this pistol round and they close it out 16-3, I'll be very pleased because I think that's a very good scoreline. I think most people are going to probably agree with that as well. Now, they're making their way over towards the B-bomb site slowly. Again, don't know if they've made any noise, but I don't think that they've made any noise. Seem to have been walking the whole way. Oh, there's probably a bit of noise out of Amanek. I saw him bouncing up and down. So NRG might know that they're over on this side of the map.
And NRG took very early mid presence. They charged 2 people from CT spawn all the way up to top mid. And they still have control. Cirque spotting the line. Oh, he just relinquishes it.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. He still gets the spot. Oh, actually goes down. Great.
How do you lose a duel against the... Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I don't even...
I'd be so angry because Cirque was doing everything right.
To be fair, the Glock was changed, make it a little bit better like that.
Should it still double dink someone like that? No, it shouldn't.
But, I mean, I'm just trying to grasp at straws here, you know? Trying to make it a little bit better for poor old Cirque.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But Misfits had a clear plan. Make a little bit of noise at B. Just try to take that mid control safely and then hit the A-bomb site. There are the smoke grenades. Here's the flashbangs. Here's the charge coming forward. And Breezy, the only man at CT, is going to catch a little bit of damage from the grenade, but A&J is coming to reinforce him. And Misfits, they'll take complete control of the A-bomb site. Yeah. They already have the numbers advantage. Are they going to push forward to CT spawn? No flashbang to back it up. They're just going to stack a triple stack. Oh my goodness, A&J, he's going to get one. He won't find any more, but Amanek and Sick will be able to trade out efficiently. So down to a 2-on-3, Daps is just going to go for it. He's going to go for the smoke defuse. Fugly's going to take down 1. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Fugly's taking down 2. Where's the last T? He can't find him. He's swinging forward, but Sick, he won't be able to get the knife kill, and Fugly will close it up with a triple. NRG has the pistol round. At the very least, something to work with in the tank. A little bit of excitement.
Yeah, I think that was Fugly that really saved that round. Obviously, getting on the bomb and defusing it there was the correct decision, but Fugly got a couple of crucial frags. You know, like if all 3 of those Ts were if all 3 of those Ts were alive, you know, that probably was going to be killed. You know, just Glock spamming through the smoke. It's you're going to probably hit the guy, really. So 12-4, yeah, 17 kills for Fugly as well. So he's really, again, the only one stepping up right now for NRG. No one else seems to be having any kind of an impact. And so if he's not having something in a round, then I think the round generally tends to go the way of Misfits. But for now, Misfits opting to just eco this one out, as you would expect, given that they do not get the bomb down. Again, Fugly's the one to open things up there for NRG now. Admittedly, this is just an anti-eco, but you have to keep saying it's Fugly every single time.
Yeah, and A&J has started to join in the party. Picks up 2 kills with the FAMAS, and now it's all down to Sick with the Deagle.
And he's not going to get anything done. So
it's Fugly once again.
Good anti-eco there from NRG. No guns lost. They had, again, a lot of FAMASs and just 1 UMP, but overall, this is the round that matters really for NRG. If they can't win this one, then we can't really expect them to win any other gun rounds either. So let's see how they go here.
Are they just going to challenge? Okay, they're just going to fight top mid. No smokes, no flashes, just going straight in. Maybe a single flashbang. And Fugly just debating whether or not to peek. Oh, he swings out. He spots a few and decides, all right, they have AK-47s. I'm not going to re-peek. They've got mid-control. Let's fall back.
I don't think that was too bad, actually, from Misfits. Obviously, they're going to know, or they're going to assume that there's not really going to be an AWP in this round here from NRG. They would know that there's a lot of FAMASs on the field that would have been taken through here, and they know that Fugly's got an M4. So overall, they're probably not that afraid of actually peeking mid there. They have the AKs. They know that they can win that duel, and so they go for it, and they do make it work. So save a lot of utilities through to the late round situation, which is kind of now. I mean, they've got a smoke and a Molotov and a flash, so it's not too much, but they didn't start with all that much to begin with. So I think overall Misfits taking control of mid without too much utility use is pretty good. Shazam, he needs to win that duel, really, and there needs to be a trade as well. Sick just tries to go for it and finally gets the job done there, but I thought that was a little bit messy there from Misfits. Let's see if he can make amends for it, and he does, as he takes down Daps. Also gets Fugly too, and Sick is back. Round number 3 of the second half is his.
Yeah, just easy kills, and there was nothing. I can't remember. I think it was Daps with the FAMAS had to duck back in archers. Nothing he could do because he was spotted out. Now Breezy attempting for a retake. We'll take down Amanek, but that's all he can find. He will fall back just as Jordan dies.
Yeah,
once
sorry.
Again.
I hope no one heard that.
Nah,
I did press the cough button
did.
that time. Nah, that might have come through your mic. That's
Maybe.
okay. Anyway, Breezy, the last one left alive, not for much longer. He's like me right now.
You're not gonna die.
Well, I'm not going to take an AK bullet to the face, I suppose.
No.
13-5 though for Misfits now, as they do win that first gun round. Now, NRG, it was kind of a bonus round in a sense, so they may be able to buy in this one, but it looks like they're just going to go for the save, which means Misfits will... Well, actually, they're aware of that. Amanex got himself a Mac 10. They will be in a pretty good position here to put it into 14-5.
I would have thought that NRG actually forcing the round. 3K on some of their members, 4K, 5K as well. You have to start trying to fight and get rounds. You can't just eco all the time and hope for the best. It's where you have to try to make a dent in Misfits' economy.
Yeah.
14-5, yeah, you've got economy to work with. You've got guns, you've got weapons. Maybe you can make this round with pistols work out. I shouldn't write them off just yet. But that would have been a round to kind of force up in my mind. Where you're down 13-5, you've got to change things up.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I kind of agree with you in a sense, but also...
You can argue both ways.
You can argue both ways, exactly. I mean, maybe they want to go for something like, I don't know, a double AWP or whatever. I mean, I'm not sure if their economy is going to be able to handle that in the next round. Really depends on where they're sitting after this one, obviously. But we'll see if they can get some guns out of their hands as well. I mean, maybe if they can take an AK or two through, then that's going to be good news for them. And they're doing a bit of damage here with these pistols. Breezy and Daps finding a killer piece. Circus in a good spot there and gets a 1-for-1, which in that scenario is actually pretty good. Bombs should actually not go down here. It depends on what Fugly can do with this Deagle. Not been spotted out, and he does take down Sean. So it's all just Devo Duvek now. Left 1 versus 3. I guess you don't need the guns, Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. For Misfits, you can't let these rounds drop. For me, if I took down 2 people on A site just like that, I'd always suspect there's one more Palace.
Okay.
I don't like it's just
well,
me.
You
yeah,
are a bit of a smarty pants, aren't you?
A lot of territories that you have to cover. In a situation where I go, okay, they're on the pistol, they're going to try and chance to get this Palace control. So we got to just sit there patiently. Don't watch Palace. Or either we watch Palace or don't be exposed to Palace. One of the two. And Devo Duvek, he has to try to make a chance play right now. 10 seconds left. He's just going to commit to the plant. He will get taken down by Daps. He had to try and do something. Wasn't enough, unfortunately. And NRG pick up a very crucial round because not only is their economy in great shape right now, they've also retrieved 2 AK-47s and Misfits will have to either eco or force buy in this round.
So they can afford that double AWP through. We'll see what NRG wants to go for here. Yeah, he's going to go for it as well. So this is basically the best possible scenario, really, for NRG. They eco the last round. They win it. Now they've got those 2 AKs. Now they've got the double AWP set up. Now they've got that extra round to play with as well, which they probably didn't expect to be at least having, I suppose. And so Misfits do force into this round. Let's see if they can just pull it straight back. You know, let's say they can win this one. Reset the economy again, probably, of NRG. Doesn't seem like it's going to be too easy, though. Fugly misses a massive spray down there, and Stick does punish him for it. So that's not a great start for NRG.
I can say fair enough, because Smoke looks very different on the Observer client compared to the actual CSGO client when they're playing. So it's very easy to kind of go Fugly. It's very easy. You can see him. We can see the X-ray just sprays to the left, but given the Smoke is probably going to run us a little bit higher up. He only saw a glimpse of the T. Unfortunately, loses the deal, but he does tag Stick down to 14. So hopefully it makes the teammates' job of trading him out a lot easier, as Misfits will be stacking to the B site, execute ANJ. This is where it's detrimental having the 4 and 5, because this AWPer, normally you expect him to lock down a line. Oh, what a shot on Stick. But it's a 14 HP member.
And the guy with the pistol, right? You need to be hitting those AKs. If you can get them out of the hands, maybe that could be a bit of an impactful sort of kill. But at this point, I don't think that was really hugely impactful, actually, as Misfits do manage to get that bomb down. They've got not great control, actually, of the B bomb site. You know, they're kind of all stuck, actually, on the site itself. One player's trying to get back up into Palace, not able to do that. Devo Duvek, though, does win the aim duel against Daps, which is going to give them a little bit more freedom. Again, though, a pick goes the way of NRG, and one more, and one more. It all happening right now for NRG, as it's just Sean left alive here for Misfits. He will take down ANJ, but I just don't think he's bought enough time yet. And Cirque should be able to win that duel, and does get the defuse.
It's close, though. I feel like it was.
Well, it's hard to tell without the sound.
I feel like that was a very close round where Misfits probably misplayed a little bit, and Daps charging in very early on. Something he shouldn't be doing, giving a numbers advantage to NRG. They lose a lot of weapons, and Misfits, surely they'll be on the eco for this round, but NRG, just on that eco round 2 rounds ago, have bought themselves a huge lifeline. Not only a big injection in their economy, it was like Misfits giving them a massive gift. It's like it's Christmas almost.
It almost is Christmas, actually. It's like, what? It's November 8th, at least for us, November 7th for the American viewers. But, you know, a month and a half away or so. A little bit more, maybe.
What are you hoping to get for Christmas this year, Jordan?
Actually, you know what? I'm not kind of a wanting kind of a person, you know? I'm feeling pretty happy in life, so nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah,
So
I'm happy.
Speaking of nothing, there was no defense on the A side for the CTs. They're just playing passive retake. They'll allow the bomb plant to go forward, and they'll just pursue the positions as they line up for a triple stack. I mean, I've seen this on Pistol, but I feel like it doesn't work as well when there's a guy with an A4 that's going to be spraying you down. It's going to be Breezy spraying everyone down as Debo Tuvek finds one. Well, Sean will be able to pick up one more. And, Debo Tuvek, 2 Deagle kills. Looked like he almost had the third as well. Wasn't to be. But NRG, 8 rounds, starting to slowly claw the way back up. Only a 5-round deficit.
Yeah. It's, I mean, again, a fairly expensive round for NRG, so the economy still has not yet really built up for them. But, I mean, at this point, it's, I guess, a case of just not losing rounds for NRG. It's not a case of, hey, let's build our economy up, because if they start losing rounds, it's basically game over anyways. I mean, they do have a couple to play with, but still. Misfits, though, back onto a bye. So let's see what they've got for us here on their T side. This is their second proper bye, really. Are they going for an A execute? Does seem like it. They've got a lot of utility to play with.
No mid presence from Misfits whatsoever. Only a single lurker with Amanek towards B, so okay, they're going to back off. If Misfits were going to go A, I'd argue that Amanek would be the lurker who'd eventually come out through underpass or top mid and then try to control a CT connector area and then play retake. But Misfits coming very late back to mid. No smoke grenades. They're just going to challenge the angles, and A&J with the silenced M4. First headshot goes in the favor of NRG, so this is looking pretty good so far for the CT side.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing I've seen all day.
From overall, or?
Nah, actually, I think Fugly's Deagle round was probably more impressive. But anyway, A&J takes a bit of damage there, down to 11 HP. Still alive, though. That's what's important right now for NRG, keeping those players on the board. Devo Duvek, though, really can pressure him because there's no presence on short at all here from NRG. So this should be pretty straightforward for Misfits, and they do manage to pick him down. No one takes a headshot either, so good news there for Misfits, not sacrificing too much HP for that pick, and now making their way in towards the B bomb site. Daps has a big job to do, needs to find at least a frag here, but will go down straight away. That puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Cirque. Unfortunately for him, though, the bomb does go down. He takes a nice peek just before that smoke blooms and peels it back to a 3 versus 3, but still great situation now for Misfits as their post plant is very nicely set up.
And Shazam will be able to shut down his opposing Orpa and Breezy, peeking right in the same angle, and that gives the confidence to Amanek to jump at Van and clean the round up for Misfits. Don't want to be dropping this round, though, because NRG will be forcing up. They can get the Orp and Cirque and maybe a few Deagles. You can't really eco for the final round, can you?
I guess not. It's not a great situation, though, for them. And that's what I'm saying, right? They lost so many guns in all of those rounds where they were beating Misfits, right? There was the round where they lost every single gun. Then there was a round where they had 1 gun left alive. And these were against, like, pistol buys or half buys. You know, not great buys from Misfits where you'd be expecting it to be down close. These were rounds where NRG needed to be stabilizing their economy. And so at this point, now that they've lost that round, it really puts them in a pretty precarious position. And so pistols arm up. The AWP on the hands of Cirque. It's going to be a B rush out from Misfits by the looks of things. And A&J with that from us, not getting too much done. Daps with the CZ in a good spot here to find one, but he's going to run out of ammo and we'll go down to Sean. It is just going to be A&J still hiding behind bench. And actually, Misfits have not secured positioning on that B site just yet. So maybe there's still something in this one for NRG. 2 versus 1 now, though, as Breezy still coming along on that rotate. Will allow Misfits to get that bomb down when they realize there's no one left on the site, which they haven't. And so maybe it won't allow them to get the bomb down.
They can just wait patiently, just play positions. They spotted him out and sick. That's sharp. Because I'd argue as well, in a 2-on-1 situation where you don't know where the last member is, you can play it a lot more slowly. You have time. You don't really have the pressure to get the bomb plant down because you don't know if the CT is close. You don't know how far he is. You might as well clear out close. Wait for the CT to make the play to get closer. Control the angles and then get the bomb plant down. You don't want to be, going for an early bomb plant. Yeah. That's the gun out of watching an angle, and then he sneaks out, kills a guy, and all of a sudden it's down towards a 1-on-1 where it's a dance to the death. Misfits didn't want to give the opportunity, and now we're at match point where NRG have to force pistols. Misfits have everything except for maybe an AK-47 in the hands of Amanek to work for, but why not? MAC-10, you can be charging down, jumping up and down, and getting headshots for days, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Indeed, Misfits are in a great position to close this one out, 16-8 now. I mean, 12-3 first half, 16-8 closing it out. I think that's pretty reasonable, actually, from Misfits, particularly given the fact that they didn't get that pistol round. So overall, if they can do that, they've secured a pretty good first map in my eyes. For now, though, just setting up fairly default, not too aggressive in towards Palace or in towards the B halls or anything like, or B apartments rather, anything like that. Even mid, they're quite passive there, but they're going to eventually have to make their move. A minute left on that clock and bomb over towards the A-bomb site. So I imagine this is going to be a bit of an A-split, judging by where the positioning of those players are. Just with Amanek playing a bit of a lurk, kind of a fake roll over towards B-bomb site with the MAC-10, seeing if he can get anything done there. And if he does, then it's a bit of a bonus. First pick does go the way of Sick. And now Shazam having a look into the A site with that AWP. Daps is in a great spot, though. Will catch Sick off guard, but not able to land the shots. Trade does come out from Cirque, though, into the A-bomb site.
No, I don't know what Shazam's doing in this position. He's just given a free AWP away. This is a round where NRG can try to make a comeback. 2 on 3. Fugly's lone. He's taking the AWP. Won't give it in the hands of Cirque, which I feel is a bit odd because he just catch a grenade. So I guess Cirque does get given the AWP just in an unfavorable position.
Amanek, you got to remember here, has the MAC-10, so that could be potentially a bit of a problem here for NRG, depending on, or for Misfits rather, depending on how things do go with Devo Duvek. And he is spotted out, does take a bit of damage there, almost wins that aim duel, eventually does win the aim duel against Breezy, gets traded out there by Cirque, but Amanek, all he has to do is wait that timer out, and he spots out Cirque, but does go down. And there's, I think, time for Cirque to defuse here, so really feel as though that...
It's ticking faster.
MAC-10 could have played a bit safer. He's lost it. Just in time. So, again, I mean, he did end up playing it correctly, but can't tell because of the sound. But
16 to 8.
16 to 8. Pretty good result there for Misfits, where I thought NRG might be slightly favored on Mirage. Seems like you're proven correct, Kevin, when you said you thought Misfits was the better team.
I didn't expect it to be that far apart.
No, probably not.
Once again, because NRG on the T side, probably lacking about 2 rounds. So they needed a 5-10 half to make it competitive. 3-12. We saw on the CT side, they had a decent defensive
If they would have had a
setup.
couple more rounds to play with there, then that could have definitely been...
It could have been a 16-12, 16-13 contest, but they didn't have enough rounds to work with. I mean, 1 weak round from Misfits allowed NRG a little bit more leeway. Otherwise, I would have argued it'd been about a 16-5, 16-6 half. Best case scenario for NRG. 16-8. As you would say, it's much of a muchness.
Much of a muchness indeed. I mean, 16-8, I think that's like... It's not a super big blowout. It's not a super close match. It's just much of a muchness, Kevin. It
was easy for NRG. Not easy for NRG. Easy for Misfits. Not so easy for NRG, should I say? Their T side. Yeah, it's the T side that let them down. I felt like if they started CT side, it would have been a much better half for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Rip Cirque.
That's a painful looking position.
No, it is indeed.
I don't think that's a very fun position to be in.
But overall, yeah, like you could just watch this and it's basically going to be the Misfits highlight reel for the first half. And yeah, it was just too much for NRG to come back from. So I wonder what that could have been like had NRG maybe started on the CT side. When we look at the CT side for them, I guess it was still not too bad actually for Misfits. Like it was 4 and 4. Or 4 and 5, sorry, where it was 16 to 8 after the 12 and 3. So there was still a few rounds in there actually for Misfits that they were getting, and it's not like it was like, you know, a massive string of rounds for NRG and then Misfits started getting rounds. Like as soon as Misfits kind of had, like obviously that first gun round they won, they lost the second gun round, and then when they got their next real proper gun buy, they won that round as well. So it did feel fairly comfortable for Misfits even on that T side, but it kind of just ended up drawing out a little bit more than it needed to just because of the economy sort of scenario there for the T side. But overall, I mean, I still felt like Misfits probably would have won this regardless of which side they started on, because I think their T side was still looking pretty good there.
Once again, I don't know, because
it
maybe would have given some confidence for NRG for some of the members to fire up, because all we saw this time around was, well, there was one person performing, that was Fugly, that was it. But that's because on the T side they're getting hammered. How do you warm up your aim when you're just getting hammered 24/7?
Yeah.
So if they started on the CT side, maybe it would have been different. Maybe it would have been Sick carrying Misfits, the rest of the members not really chiming in.
Yeah.
Because all the Misfits were kind of performing around the same scoreline, which is really good to see. You're fragging as a unit.
Yeah.
But on the side of NRG, it was like, yeah, Fugly's up there. Where's the rest of the guys? They're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, absolutely. So across the board, Misfits looking pretty good heading into map number 2 now, which is going to be their choice, actually. So Overpass, we sort of were thinking, okay, maybe that's going to favour Misfits a little bit. Now I'm definitely on that train. I'm thinking Misfits, I mean, they're in a position here to 2-0. It looks really good for them right now.
Yeah, and I think Misfits with this map victory has kind of secured their position in the finals, but a 2-0 would definitely put them up the seedings a little bit more. Yep. We'll be jumping onto Overpass very soon. Let's see if NRG have anything on the defensive side, but we'll have to find out after the break.
game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Today, we will crown a champion. It's a championship inside smoke. That's a quad kill, and that's going to be it. What a performance. Oh, my goodness. They want the trophy, and they've got it. This is what grand finals are about. This is why we love Counter-Strike.
Be focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
Hey guys, this is Exist from NRG. I'm here with Forrest and GetRight, and we're gonna figure out who's tweeting what. Raw.
I know exactly.
That's Forrest.
That's Forrest.
That's gotta be Exist. I remember Exist always usually like, I headshotted him, rawr.
I would never say raw.
I would always use
No, that's Forrest, like, yeah,
Forrest.
7K followers, dudes, raw.
I think you use raw a bit more than I do. Oh my god, let's go be raw. Because you're a fearsome leader, you know, you're just like, yeah.
Oh,
You want to get in there and take command, so I'm gonna go with Exist.
Yes,
yeah, that's Forrest. Yeah, it was me, I know.
7K.
Yeah, raw. Raw is coming back, boys.
Raw.
That's gotta be GetRight. Straight up GetRight. Honestly, I can.
Yeah, it has to be GetRight.
You sounded so excited.
If it's only about ice cream, then I can take it on. You know, it's gonna be about. I'll probably just gonna think it would be Forrest or something like that.
100%.
100% GetRight. It's me? Oh, what? Really? No, read that back to me again, please.
Who was a Christmas present? Let me know, all in caps.
What? Shit, okay. Who wants a Christmas present?
That's 100% Exist.
I'm a bit torn here. I think it's either Exist or GetRight. I mean, the dots in the beginning. The double dots makes me think that it's GetRight, but how it all turned out.
I think it's Exist mostly because I can see him, you know, raging behind the monitor, like one of those, you know, old school clips when the guy is like, you know, playing against the cheater, you know, when he started to rage more and more. That's like Exist when he gets, you know, frustrated with, you know, some bad things in the game.
I have to say GetRight.
I'm going with GetRight here as well.
Forrest isn't that. He wouldn't complain in public like that.
You're right. Patrick wouldn't complain in public because it is you.
Exactly.
I knew it all. Hashtag listen to the players.
game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Today, we will crown a champion. It's a championship inside smoke. That's a quad kill, and that's going to be it. What a performance. Oh, my goodness. They want the trophy, and they've got it. This is what grand finals are about. This is why we love Counter-Strike.
Be focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Hello everyone and welcome back. It is going to be going on to map 2 between Misfits and NRG very shortly. Yeah, it was a very quick first map.
It was. Even though it was 16-8, it felt pretty
It was quick.
fast.
It was routine.
Yeah.
It felt like it was routine.
Standard day at the office really for Misfits, wasn't it? Like 12-3 first half, easy done. Start the second half off, lose pistol round, but still win the map. Really can't complain about that at all. Mirage, good start there for Misfits. Now they have the opportunity to close out today with a 2-0, which would basically secure them through to the finals if they're not already secured through to the finals.
Yeah, or just secure them a higher seeding as well.
Yeah, or higher seeding.
You always want the higher seeding, I guess.
Always what you want. And they are moving over onto their own map pick of Overpass, which is good news for them. In saying that, though, I mean, Overpass, it's not like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's their best map, but they have played it a little bit throughout the last few months, a little bit in the Pro League as well. Misfits also played a little bit, so, sorry, NRG played a little bit as well. So I think for this map, I mean, both teams coming into it are going to have a bit of an idea of what they want to be doing.
Yep.
At least you'd hope.
Well, Misfits obviously picked it if they're very confident on their T side. You wouldn't pick it if you're not confident in your T side. So let's take a look at the mainstream. Rogue taking Renegades to overtime. So
wow.
Yep. So Renegades, I don't know what to say. It's like they go overseas, they win the Asian Minor, they win like another major tournament. I think it was like the SLI, wasn't it? They win that, they defeat Virtus Pro, and they come back, and then they're in overtime against Rogue.
Yeah.
Where they're fighting to get points to get into the finals for EPL. And this happens.
Yes.
The only time they can go, and this happens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Renegades, I don't know, like, what?
Feels bad.
Whatever. I don't know. Don't want to comment on it too much, because it's just a can of worms, really. But
why do they call it a can of worms? Like, when you open a can of worms?
I guess a can of worms is something that you don't want, right?
But why worms? Like, how did the worms get in the can?
But I suppose it's like canned food, right? And the worm got in the food.
Okay.
And so then you open it up and you're like, oh, it's a can of worms. And it's like, rip. Does that not make sense?
It does, but why? Like, it means like we don't want to be opening it up because we don't want to be talking about it because there's too much to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So how does that relate with opening up a can that's been contaminated?
I don't know.
Doesn't make as much sense.
Don't read into it too much, Kevin.
These idioms make no sense.
Just like your food ones. See, that was a food one and you didn't even like it. I can't believe it.
How about ECA? Do you play ECA?
We've talked about this before.
We've talked about this before.
I've already told you I'm not good enough to play ESEA. Why do you keep bringing it up for?
I don't know, because I feel like I've been playing with you these last couple of days. There's been a guy on my team that's been going 5-20.
Yeah.
I was like, Elfish guy, is that you?
Yeah, and then it was me like, yes.
And then one guy just going, Wadu, heck.
Wadu. Yeah, yeah, I wish I was good enough to play ESEA, but sadly, that's not within my skill set.
Now, to be fair, you don't have to be really good to play ECA. You just need to be able to afford the subscription price. To be fair, it's just more of.
But I don't.
Do you feel like it's worth the investment?
No,
that's the question.
I do. But I feel like if I play, I'm ruining everyone else's game or 4 other people's games.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you queue with a bunch of mates, you wouldn't be ruining anyone's game.
Yeah, maybe not.
So.
All right,
that's maybe a possibility.
We'll
you know?
talk about it later.
So if for anyone out there who's looking to make it up there in the ranks, maybe you can pick up Elfish Guy and get him in your 5-stack.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't make it up in the ranks if you do that, though. Maybe
ranks isn't everything.
If you want to tank your rank, you can pick me up.
Oh, I don't think you can tank your ranks that badly yet.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know really how it works. Anyway, these guys know how it works.
Who? Misfits
NRG and Misfits, yeah.
I don't think they are intrinsic to the ways of the ECA matchmaking system.
I'm pretty sure.
But they're definitely familiar with the ECA servers.
Yes.
Because they're going to be playing on them.
Yes. Speaking of the servers, that was why we kind of had a bit of a downtime.
It was the maintenance, of course.
Yeah.
Because we go, okay, it's Wednesday over here. It's not Tuesday night. Well, we forgot. It is Tuesday night over there.
Yeah.
And that's the daily maintenance. It always happens.
Always happens. So it was always in Pro League, which means we have a bit of a break, but that's okay. We've had that break and, I don't know, had a bit of a chill. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling ready. Just waiting to get in the game. 1.53 for Misfits.
I say that's, once again, it's just a very, according to the Betway odds, probably a lot of the punters probably just reacting and going, and like they got completely hammered by Misfits. I'd probably keep it a little bit more even if it was me. I wouldn't have jumped that hard on the NRG because if you start on the CT side, it's up to how good a performance. This is probably why I'm never a punting person because I run through the odds and everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to put anything on at the moment. It's not 100% comfortable for me to do so just yet. So
it's never going to be
that's me, right? I'm always a cautious kind of person.
Yeah.
But a cautious person never ever wins at anything sometimes because they just hold on for too long and the opportunity it just goes missing.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then you just go look at the opportunity and you go, that could have been me, but it isn't.
It isn't. But that's okay. Sometimes it's better to not win and not lose. I don't know. Who cares? Whatever. I'm just going on a random tangent. Overpass is where we are going. Did I say Inferno before? I feel like I did.
Maybe.
But I was talking about Overpass. And it'll be interesting to see how this one does go. I mean, I think I've actually watched NRG playing on Overpass this season once or twice, and they did not do too badly.
Wasn't that just Breezy charging the underpass and just killing things?
Might have been. But I definitely have not seen Misfits play it. I think this is actually the first time I've cast Misfits this season.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Misfits this season as well. They've been getting a lot more of their kind of debuts on the big stream, on the big screen. I like to see what they have on the T side, how well they execute together, and whether NRG have something in their tank. I mean, they were pretty badly hammered on Mirage, but they've had enough time to reset, talk things over. Now starting on the preferred CT side can kind of just let their aim and crossfires do the talking as Misfits going for what seems to be a faster B setup.
Well, initially that's what it seemed like, but now they've slowed down just a little bit. The utility is going to go across. It is a smoke, I think, up into the sniper's nest, and so Amanek, the first one, making his way out onto the bomb site. There's not really too much of a hold actually there for NRG. It seems to be playing more for a bit of a retake, which is going to allow Amanek into a fairly forward position there in Dirty Water. But in saying that, they are going to still be mostly bunched up on the side, and I think we're going to see, Devo Devek having a bit of a problem there. He does go down. There is one for Sean. He's going to be losing his teammate and his own life to ANG. As soon as that smoke dissipates up in that sniper's nest, that was an easy round for NRG.
That was really well played from NRG. There was no need to contest them coming to B site, so they just go, let's play very far back, let's play jungle, or play ABC, whatever you want to call it. Let's play CT door, let's play Heaven. Oh, look, Heaven smoked off. That's all right. We'll just chill out and play retake and let our aim do the talking and crossfires. And it worked out perfectly for them. Only lose one member, so that's good because they can take kit, take armor, SMGs to farm up money as Misfits will just look to maybe get the bomb plant down one more time. So they did manage to get it down once. Second time will be a great benefit for their economy as they're looking to purchase very early in the third round. But 2 M4s up on the side of NRG, which is very early.
Yeah, but only one from us. Where last time on their anti-eco, they were 1 M4, 3 from us was an SMG. So overall, I actually don't mind it for NRG. I'm obviously assuming they can take both of those M4s through this round, but that's kind of like a fairly par score, you know? Like, you probably expect to take both of the M4s at least through a round like this.
This is really respectful play from NRG, where they're giving a lot of space, but now the SMGs come forward at short, and they just completely farm up the cash. I was about to say, the M4s, like the B-site holders played very respectfully, and then the unders probably didn't play as respectfully and just pushed forward, which is the correct decision to make. They just farmed up the SMGs, didn't risk the M4s at all, which is really good to see, because it means they keep all their guns up in the next round. And Misfits, yeah, they can buy, but they didn't get the bomb plant down, and Sick, I have a feeling he did buy head armor, but game's playing a prank on me once again.
Yeah, probably. Probably is. Anyway, Misfits are going to buy into this one. Obviously, they had the bomb down in round number 1, so got enough for the AKs. Not too much utility,
okay, it wasn't
though.
a prank this time.
Wasn't a prank?
No, it wasn't a prank.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, no utilities for Misfits, really, to play with. So, we're relying on just the raw entries, and this is a very interesting sort of a boost from NRG.
Oh my goodness!
Hello.
What? Oh, this is absolutely sick, because they know they can spot him out, and Amanek, does he realize? I think he does see them, but that is a pretty sick boost. I like seeing that. No, Amanek doesn't know.
Doesn't he?
No. So he just heard the spray.
I swear he just looked at him.
But you don't, because normally you're focused in there, so he hears the spray and it's like, where is that coming from?
Yeah.
And he didn't get tagged, so he has no visual identifier in which vague direction. All he hears is shots. That's it.
That is it. Interesting, but I wonder if they're going to use it again. I mean, that's like a pretty risky boost, I feel, you know? Like, if there's someone in Dirty Water...
I don't feel like it's that risky, because if you have Dirty Water control, then...
What about Underpass, right? Someone opens that door. GG.
still covers up slight part of the angle. So if you dirty water, it's up to having dirty water control. So that's why you want head armor. As Tick just gets completely annihilated. And Fugly trying to do his best. Tag down to 8. Has to just try to stay alive. Buy time for the rest of his teammates to rotate. And he's buying time. Aminek not checking close corner. Fugly's now picked up an AK-47. He's still alive, swinging around, buying time for his team. And there's no time for Misfits to work with. This is really well played from NRG. Just aggression, utilizing the aim well. And now Duvek, too many angles to check, too many lines, and he's going to be executed. Great upgrades on the side of NRG, only losing Cirque. Guess what? Free upgrades to AK-47s. Their economy is now starting to bloom, and Misfits back to the drawing board because nothing's working out.
Well, this is that CT side we were talking about where we thought, you know, NRG, maybe if they started on the CT side, would have had a better time on Mirage. Now, I'm not sure if they would have ended up winning it or not, but certainly starting off pretty nicely on the CT side here of Overpass. And if things can continue this way, then they're going to put themselves in a fairly similar position to what we saw Misfits in, I'd imagine, on Mirage. But again, 3-0. Still early days. We've only seen really one gun round out of Misfits.
It didn't have that much utility as well.
Exactly. So we need to still hold our opinions just for a moment until we get to see a bit more out of this map.
Yeah, absolutely strong start, but you don't win the race by just having a strong start. You need to continue forward and charge the finish line. As Misfits are just slowly stacking up for an A site take. They might just go through toilets, maybe just relieve themselves and then clean their hands before they try to charge on the A bomb site. But it looks like they're just going to proceed forward. No waiting for the players. A Cirque with the AWP finds one. Oh, he forgets to click though, so he won't find the second. And Duvek may be able to retrieve an AWP as well. He's got the AWP. 6 managed to take down Fugly, so A site has to be just given up for now. They're waiting for the retake, and 6 also found an AK-47. Can do some work, but he's going to be digged out. Oh my goodness! Sick and Duvek, they'll get a kill apiece. And now it's a one-on-one down to Daps.
I thought he had a 2-man spray down there with that AK, but it was actually Duvek getting one with the AWP. Now though, the 1v1 still winnable here for Misfits in this round, though Daps seems to have spotted Duvek out. He's still waiting that timer down. Creeping around that smoke. Fires off the shot, but there's just no kills coming out here for Daps. He needs to find the kill now, and he will. Just in time, I feel.
Yeah, just. But, that's a very, very tight round and pretty dirty round for NRG as well, given they were quite successful previously. Maybe giving away too much map control, too much respect this time, and allowing Misfits to charge on the bomb site, getting a lot of free picks, and then the AK and AWP doing work on an ill-timed retake. Luckily, Daps was able to make it work out. So NRG, a coughing fit for sure, but they're just going to have to
Why you got to bully me like this?
Just got to compose themselves, just like old mate Jordan Mays is doing right now.
Yep, I'm good, I'm good. Oh! That was close, but not a kill for Cirque. I like the aggression, though, out from the AWP. You want to see this from NRG because, obviously, that last round was a bit iffy, but I want to see them starting to dictate this game, right? Because on Mirage, they just had no option to do that, really. It was just all Misfits deciding how everything was going to play out. NRG now is in the forward, or in, I suppose, an advantageous position where they can start to take these sort of fights and maybe try and take control of the game a little bit better.
And you can see Fugly was trying to take control very early on by going unders and fast and dirty water and just clearing out the angles. So, yeah, he's left the door open, but he's also left Misfits a little bit nervous on where the CTs are playing. And Fugly is still just playing very dynamic, charging all the way around. Breezy's now aggressing. Sick won't be spotted out for now. Breezy's still alive, so he's actually taken very, very close control. This will not allow Duvek to come out. Duvek spraying Daps through the wall, though. Now Breezy will strike. He'll find one. He's charging forward for more. Oh my goodness, Breezy. Absolute man with the A4. Takes down the AWPer. They've come out through Monster, but there's no support because their last member is trying to flank all the long way around. Yeah. So finally Fugly gets taken out, but A&J with the silence stand 4, spraying down, gets one, and just buys enough time. Sick making so much noise. Cirque has to hear this, surely.
Apparently not. Well,
Cirque
maybe he does, but
maybe he'll hear it and fall down. So Cirque is watching the rear. And we peek out just after Sick calls towards heaven. And
there's 20 seconds left for him to play with here. So
yeah, Breezy, I think Breezy knows. So they've got both angles covered. Breezy.
He just needs to find a frag right now. Otherwise, round's over. And he has
I think round's over.
So, yeah.
And Cirque is aware, so he's just chilling out. Sick's going to make some noise, but he's just going to save the AK-47. And NRG continuing their good form. 5 rounds. This round, Breezy stepping up. And now the double up coming out for NRG as well. This is starting to be a bit painful for Misfits.
A little bit. 5-0 for NRG. Did start off at 6-0 for Misfits on Mirage CT side, so perhaps we're seeing a repeat of history, though flipped a little bit on its head. Misfits, though, again, are going to be able to come through with a buy. No warp this time. Decent amount of utilities at least, but everything that they seem to be doing is not really working out too well. They've gotten, well, rather, they've pushed into B, they've pushed into A, they've explored underpass a little bit. I mean, they haven't really had any presence up towards long just yet, and I don't feel like they've had too much presence out from underpass into dirty water. There's been underpass up into the A bathrooms and that kind of thing, but maybe that's another option for them. For now, though, just going to go through the monster tunnel by the looks of things, and it's not worked out too well because A&J is there, Daps is also there, and it's a 3-for-1 trade so far, though A&J is very low on HP, so could an easy pick, but no! Great shot from A&J. So no scope on the stick. Oh, did he get the leg shot there as well? It's all happening.
This is just a solid setup where A&J, yeah, he was deployed on the other side, but Daps was ready with a flashbang supporting him as well. So, yeah, Daps loses life, but that allows A&J to get a few more kills when normally it's a one-and-done position. And that is just a strong setup by NRG. Really, really happy to see this, because we didn't have the opportunity to see them enough on the CT side of Mirage. We saw a couple of glimpses of a very strong setup. And Misfits back to the drawing board, as Jordan has a cheeky grin on his face. I don't know why.
I'll show you later, Kevin. It's not safe for broadcast.
Oh, no. That's not what I want to hear, Jordan. This is family-friendly.
Come on, man.
This is family-friendly. We leave the...
You like to portray all this innocent persona on the broadcast, but I know you, Kevin. Oh, yes. We've been to Manila together.
Yes.
All right.
I've seen things. I've done things like margarita and a takeaway.
$6 margarita takeaway.
It wasn't $6. It was closer to $9 Australian dollars.
Oh, yeah.
B-site. They've got pistols, managed to make their way out. The boost comes from Breezy. They know they're on the side, but they haven't pursued forward beyond the threshold. And Sean, Breezy. What?
He'd be like, oh yeah, right.
He sprays down Shazam. He sprays down Sean, sorry, and then catches Shazam in the head.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened, but whatever. Whoa. Amanek, I almost thought he was going to get that frag there, actually. Or Fugly was going to get that frag onto Amanek, rather. Still, not too bad of a scenario actually here for Misfits, though they're both playing from the same angle, so that might be a bit of a problem. A&J, covered off well by Cirque, down to 11 HP, 4 HP, and he survives. The knife kill comes out as well. NRG, what's going on?
Yeah, A&J down to 4. He got tagged to the edge of the wall.
What a ridiculous round.
Oh my goodness, it's 7-0, but so far it's been a bit of a, dare I say, a mini circus so far. We've had highlights of everything. NRG still come up on top, mind you, but Misfits going to be rolling the dice at B one more time. Going to be utilizing all the numbers. They're not showing any presence at mid, not showing any presence at all towards any other different parts of the map, and I don't know how well this is going to work out, because there's going to be a time where eventually NRG are going to be just stacking all their forces towards B. They're coming for, sick. That is so crucial. A&J, a lot of work to do right now. There's 2 kills. Where's the third? Okay, the Molotov works out eventually. But 3-on-3, rotations now happening for NRG as Misfits has control B.
Well, this is the best chance now for Misfits to actually find a round here. Obviously, they haven't got the bomb down just yet, but that should be fairly straightforward for them. They have the smokes, they've got the utility, they've got the control of the B-bomb site as well. And it's a 3v3, you know, a lot of the time when they've been holding this site, it has been an advantageous player scenario for NRG, but now you have to feel Misfits are in with a real good chance here. And Daps, if he would have won that aim duel, maybe there was a good shot for NRG, but he doesn't. Even though Cirque does manage to take down Shazam, it's probably going to be a little bit too much here for Fugly. 1v1 though now, as he does manage to take down Devo Duvek, and it's just Amanek left alive.
Oh my goodness.
And that's just so bad for Misfits, because now, again, another round that they really had a good chance of winning goes the way of NRG, just on the back of an individual play from Fugly. Great stuff from him. 8-0 now for NRG.
And this is where it's starting to become painful. And this is where NRG just given a little bit of space, a little bit more time to reset. Yeah. Fugly's continued the good form so far in terms of impact kills, because that is an impact round and a half. And Misfits, maybe they'll throw the dice at B. Maybe they'll try to take mid control. I want to see a little bit more diversity, because this is starting to look very, very flat and two-dimensional. Yeah. Not something you want to be seeing in 2017.
Not on your own map pick either, as well. Like, that's the real takeaway here for Misfits, is that they're down now 8-0 on a map that they chose. So, need to be doing something better than this. I mean, there's still time in this first half to come back into it, but realistically speaking, where are you going to be hoping for? I mean, like 10-5, I suppose, best case scenario really for Misfits. I mean, obviously 8-7, but I think that's a bit unrealistic. I mean, 11-4 maybe is what we're even looking at as like doable for Misfits. Right
Need
now,
at least
though.
5. It just feels like, once again, 5 is going to be the golden number. Also is about the same amount of fingers and thumbs I have on one hand, so that's good. I don't know where I was going with that one. I'll be realistic, Jordan.
I don't know where you're going with a lot of things, to be honest.
I try. As Fugly will be spotted out, but he's still support from Daps. Flashbang doesn't really catch him off guard, and Shazam. Oh, he's just going to be ducking his head down. Find the rocket stick. Spraying.
Oh. I feel like if Daps would have had maybe 2 or 3 more bullets there, he probably would have gotten that kill. Cirque does manage to find one, though, for NRG. And Daps is, I mean, he's in a bit of a difficult position here because he can't really go anywhere, and he's got 2 angles to watch, but takes the timing. Oh, it's all going wrong for Misfits right now. I mean, how long Devo Devek did watch that angle, I don't know, but...
Oh, my goodness. And that's just...
It's just, it can't get any worse right now for Misfits, can it?
It can. I mean, they could just be team killing each other in spawn, so it can get worse. So Sean trying his best to find anything he can. But when they just line up, where Shazam executes his own teammate, where NRG just so confident, because I didn't even mention this, but ANJ was pushed very deep at B, which allowed NRG to take control of A.
Yeah.
When they're pushing with confidence right now, like, what else do you do? There's just a complete whitewash, and whatever you call it, that's what I say with the odds. I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily swing that far, because...
You wouldn't swing that way, Kevin?
I wouldn't swing that far. Don't twist my words that way.
What do you mean? I would never twist your words.
Oh, as if. But now this is NRG 9-0 in the lead. We know that they are a strong defensive side, given they have a lot of strong aimers on their side. And now it's starting to show up, and Misfits trying something different. But Cirque, I mean, he's so good at locking down these angles, but Devo Duvek, great trade, allows them to continue the train out long A. Rotation now slowly coming out from Misfits. Oh, sorry, from NRG. Misfits will be able to make their way on site very quickly, and Fugly going to cop Devo Duvek, who's doing great work right now. And now, this is finally a round which is going in the favor of Misfits after a very, very fast long A play.
Yep.
Finally, something that's working for Misfits. About time.
But is it going to work out? I mean, we've seen rounds that Misfits could have won that maybe didn't go their way. Now, again, this one, like, this really should go the way of Misfits right now. But who's to say they don't just lose the round anyway?
No, they should take this. They've got the position. Breezy's on the long way around. He's not even in a position to contest. So the only chance they win this is, say, Daps just, you know, drops a smoke grenade on the bomb because everyone's left it. He flashes out. He kills 2 people and sticks the defuse, and they just completely whiff on him. And yeah, Devo Duvek is aware of this scenario. He'll lose his life, but he'll take the round for the team.
Will he lose his life?
Yeah,
just didn't quite get far enough away.
He sacrificed his well-being for the good of the team.
He probably would have gone down to Breezy anyway, all things considered. So overall, not too bad there for Misfits.
But if Devo Duvek didn't stay there, that could have been there would have been a chance for Daps to kind of sneak it away.
Yeah.
Smoke, flashbang.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway, 9-1. Misfits do finally secure a round here, but obviously NRG winning that many rounds in a row does have their economy in a good spot.
Now, they can't buy up after this one because they have invested in the double op setup.
Exactly. They don't have enough money to buy probably next round, but they did have enough money to buy into this round, so there's still that chance that NRG can just shut this one out, really, and turn this into a 10-1, maybe 11-1. Depending on where the money's at for Misfits. Good grenade out from Breezy there. Doesn't do too much damage, but a nice spread. Puts a lot of players down to a one-shot for the M4s, and Breezy, 2-man spray down. Great work from him. Eventually does get traded out by Devo Duvek, but ANJ is there to get the trade for himself. And overall, this should buy enough time for the rotation for the other NRG players to come across, though the bomb, they're not even really able to go down just yet from Misfits, and so that's just the worst situation right now for them. So going to get reset right on towards the end of the first half.
That is the worst way as well, because you didn't do enough damage in the economy of the CT side, where Breezy's like, oh, I can buy an M4, we still have double AWP, and everyone's pretty happy.
Yeah.
Some cash in the pocket, and Misfits have to go, well, cash is not that good. It's looking like, I don't know, an esports bank account. All over the place a little bit, sometimes.
Yeah.
Esports stream would be, had probably 16K or more, 160K in everyone's bank account.
Alright, let's see what Cirque can do. Just pushing up a little bit with the AWP, but it decides to fall back. I mean, it doesn't really need to do anything too aggressive. It's not like NRG struggling for rounds, doesn't look like they're really under any pressure at all. And so, gets some information a little bit early on, but not too much. And Now just watch this long. Easy shot. Oh, good shot even as well, yeah.
What are the rest of the Misfits members going to do? I mean, Daps is now supporting with an M4. There's 3 members on the A-bomb site. Or is that Breezy actually still holding onto Heaven? It might just be 2 on the A-bomb site. And Daps, there's a lot of work to do. They don't have a flash to bust through this. They only have a single smoke grenade. So they can't really bust through this. And the Cirque is just still watching the line. And there it is. Cirque will spot this out. And Daps, close contest. Cirque and Daps teaming up. Sean Gares will finally strike and make his appearance as he gets 2 kills. Crucial 2 kills as well, because it allows him a little bit more access on the A-bomb site. It makes it doable, but look at this. Fugly's all the way around behind Long A already. And Sick may just be stuck in a position for now.
Yeah, I think Fugly just gave away his position throwing out that flashbang, so...
I think he might have been spotted.
Yeah, was he spotted? Maybe. Anyway, bomb will go down here, and that's a great shot from Sean. Equalizes it back to 2v2. Gets the shot onto Ange as well. Everyone just dies!
Yeah, that was really poorly misplayed. Once again, NRG, their retakes they look good on the holds, but the retakes looking absolutely shocking so far. They're all coming out one by one, not watching the correct angles, not utilizing any of their utility, and they just get absolutely punished by Sean. And this is such a good start as well. They got the first 2 kills. They're able to lock down the A-bomb site. Okay, 2 on 3. The Cirque gives a very easy kill over to Sean, who's been watching an angle. And then AJ charges up and doesn't check his left.
Yeah. It was a force buy as well from Misfits in that run, so puts themselves in, I mean, a better position than where they were, but admittedly, like, still not that great. NRG are aware of that as well, so they put that AWP on the hands of Cirque. They've invested in as much as they can across the board, and I mean, this round really could play quite a big part, actually, because whoever loses this one, you know, going to be putting themselves in a pretty poor position, economically speaking, with only a couple of rounds left in the half, so could end up being, you know, 11, 12 rounds for NRG if they do win this one, or up to maybe 5 for Misfits if they do win it.
Still a tale be told, as they are once again stacked closer towards the B-bomb site. Now progression play happening towards short. ANJ, he was the only member who had a CZ, and now he's upgraded. Free AK-47 is Sick. He's kind of left out to dry by the rest of his teammates, and yeah, Misfits, they're lining up for an execute to retake territory right now, but it's a little bit late because they lost that short water, have to utilize a few crucial flashbangs to retake territory, and they go, all right, we've got this territory. What do we got? We got 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs. Gonna have to just make a chance play and hope our entries work. And they're just making contact out monster ANJ. He's ready with the AK-47, and he's gonna swing wide. He's gonna get caught out by surprise. So somehow Misfits managed to make it work out. Down frame, down only 1. This is really poorly played from NRG. Didn't need to be swinging, just needed to wait their lines. And what was a great round has now been reduced to shambles. Yeah. Fugly's only got a UMP. Cirque with an AWP. No kits. Unless they're retrievable from the bomb site. They might just have to save the AWP. Yeah. Let Fugly try to do damage, and that has just gone absolutely shockingly wrong.
Again, for NRG, I mean, a little bit of a second wind here for Misfits late in the half. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. I mean, they've had a really shocking start to the half.
5 rounds, that's all they need. 3 rounds is very doable. NRG are going to eco the next round.
If they can get the 5, yeah, maybe. But so far, NRG, you have to back them at least to get 1 more round out of these last couple. Fugly might save that UMP as well. So
I'd say 11-4 would be the most likely hypothetical situation.
Yeah, well, it's 50-50, right? Because 2 rounds left in the half, each of them gets 1. You expect Misfits will get this one?
They should.
Unless
I say they should, unless they drop a round against pistols. Because NRG, they should, in my mind, they should have had the round. There was no reason why they needed to swing. They had all the correct positions. All right, they lost control of short, lost control along A, but you don't need to be exposing yourself to monster by wide swinging. Yeah. Because you have to suspect that late round, you know, they could be making a contact play. They don't have that much utility left.
All right, so
Cirque is, oh my goodness, he's managed to hop across. He's getting so lucky on the hops, and now Fugly, he's going to lose his life very early on trying to duel unders, and Shazam holding the line with the AWP. Oh, Cirque will win the duel once again, but Sick is making it work at unders as well. We'll take down Breezy. I think he was at unders.
Cirque again finding a frag, but every time he gets one, someone else is dying on his team, and that's just not allowing him to pull this round back in the favor of NRG. He's really putting in the effort, but it's just not happening, and so now I guess it's really down to Daps here. If he can find someone creeping through the bathroom or perhaps planting on the A-bomb side if they don't check the angle properly or something like that.
I reckon we'll get caught out by Sean, because Sean should be aware that there's a potential for someone to be holding close toilets. So he just needs to wait. David Duvek will check this line. He's been caught out before. So David Duvek actually loses his life. It's Sean that gets the trade. Yeah. Now it's down to Cirque, who's been in some decent form so far with the AWP. He will push through the smoke. Amanek has spotted him, though. And Amanek on the line. Sean's going to come closer. And Amanek just jumping up. Cirque spots out the shadow of Sean. Tags him, but doesn't take him out just yet. They're going to double swing on him. That's a wise decision from Misfits. As Amanek will be able to clean up. Very expensive round, but final round now.
They almost lined up for him there as
almost.
Well, but not quite. So in the end, Misfits do pick it up, and NRG, this is their final round of the half, obviously. They need to find this one. I mean, if they go 10-5 after that start, like they were up 9-0, and then to go 10-5, you'd probably be a bit disappointed by that. So,
especially they had 2 rounds where they had the advantage, 3-on-2, and there was another 5-on-4. They had the advantage, sure, a very slim advantage, but those are the ones you've got to be capitalizing on and rolling forward.
Yeah, so this is the round that you want to see out from NRG. Just to put it to 11-4, put it into more of a favourable CT position there for them, and then when they move on to their T side, they should expect to probably pick that one up. And again, it looks like they're going to be getting the first pick out of this one. Fugly will go down. At least there's the trade there, and Sick just looking for Ange, but it doesn't really work out too well for him as 2 kills go the way of NRG. And the B-bomb site no longer looks like really an option for Misfits as they rotate off.
Sean has posted himself quite far up, but NRG, they just realized, all right, we don't have as much utility use, so we'll just use our numbers instead. We'll just swing double flashbang. Sean's just going to tuck him away at the corner, and oh, Cirque misses a shot with the AWP. Knows that Sean's there, though. We'll be able to get out safely. Rest of NRG still holding their lines, though. They know there's 45 seconds left, and Misfits can go towards A, can go towards B. Shazam scoped up. If he makes another scoping noise, A&J might catch him off by surprise, but no, Shazam flicks at the right time. A&J caught off by Guard and Cirque. Oh my goodness, Amanek so close to firing the shot. Cirque's still alive somehow, but he won't be alive much longer. And once again, another advantage squandered by NRG. That's really disappointing to see, but Tap somehow this time managed to make the flick work out in his favor. And Amanek doing work so far, down 1-on-1. Shazam will be able to land the op shot, so 5-10.5, which is definitely great for Misfits because they were down 9-0 at one stage.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of a shocking end for NRG. They didn't keep the intensity up, and they might be suffering from it when they go on their own T side.
Yeah, I mean, I would have expected maybe a little bit more out of that one for NRG. I mean, starting off 9-0 and then going to 10-5.
There was a potential of going 13-2 in my mind.
13-2 or, yeah, something like that, like something crazy, but not able to convert it. And so maybe that's the difference between these two teams. Maybe that's enough for Misfits to come back in this second half and win the map.
Who knows? I mean, 10-5, it is by any means an overpass. 5 rounds of T-side is a close half, given the scenario around this. Let's see whether Misfits have a strong CT side or whether NRG can bring it back as well on the T side after the break. Hello and welcome back once again. Jordan having a bit of a cheeky bounce.
No, I wasn't. I was just looking down at my notes.
You're looking down at your notes, just coughing all over the place. But
I have been coughing a lot today.
I hope you're feeling better. Everyone's been dying of the post-convention flu except for me because I dogged the boys.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, we've had, all of us were in Manila. All the CS casters from Australia were in Manila. We all got sick from there.
Except for me.
Except for you. And everyone else that wasn't in Manila was at PAX Australia, and everyone got sick from there. So that's everyone in the office right now is just like, ugh.
Except for me.
Except for you. I don't know how you managed to avoid it. Must have been
because I dogged the boys. I think that's like rule number 3. You don't, as long as you dog the boys, you don't get sick. That's fine. But 10-5. Speaking of sick on Misfits, I mean, having a lot of a colder game in comparison. But Misfits, I felt like struggled very early on. And NRG had a really good chance of closing out that half. They let it slip a little bit. They can still take the game, obviously. They're in very good form. 10-5 going on the T side. You take Pistol, 13-5. But you lose Pistol, suddenly Misfits 8-10. If Misfits do what they did on the CT side of Mirage,
exactly.
Could be, could be another story of could been, would have been, but wasn't.
I mean, odds there are favouring NRG just a little bit. I mean, I'm probably still feeling like NRG is in a good spot here. Like 10 rounds on your CT side is good. But the reason we're saying that it probably could have done better is because they were up 9-0. So we'll see whether or not they're going to actually be able to close this map out or not. But definitely, I think this pistol is actually pretty important for them. I mean, you really wouldn't want to let Misfits back into this one. That's more than what they've already done, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be taking the victory. You want to be clasping it with both hands. You don't want to be gifting Misfits a 2-0 today. Not after Mirage. You want to fight back, get some pride in. I mean, just look at the logo for Misfits. Sometimes you just don't want to let that dastardly rabbit get away. That was
sure
really
we talked
bad.
about that as well before.
Probably not. And was it me or was it with someone else? But NRG, they're busting on the A bomb side, but Shazam finds one with the P2K. Sean still alive, dancing around. Needs to find this headshot on Breezy. Won't be able to do so as Breezy still challenging Bank, dancing around.
Sean pushes the smoke. Doesn't really work out too well for him as Fugly will take him down. Breezy just charges around the corner and finds 2 frags. That probably secures the round here for NRG. Sick. Last one left alive, but he's up on A. NRG is hightailing their way over towards B. And, well...
I would just save if I was sick. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you got a
kit armor? That's
kit.
about more than 1K.
That's as much as you're going to be able to save really out of a pistol round, to be honest.
Maybe a grenade if Sean dropped one.
Yeah.
Well, Sean didn't have any grenades. The Sick is still trying to find a few kills, just tucked away safely.
Yeah, not really much point.
He probably going to die to Fugly at this stage, because Fugly most likely will check underpass. Or not.
Apparently not. Whatever. Doesn't really make too much of a difference.
Because I just run away as far as I can, just to try to... No!
Oh, no.
No, there's no time! What are you doing, Sick?
Look, you gave it a fair shake of the sauce bottle, Kevin.
It wasn't even a fair shake of the sauce bottle. It's just like, there's some nice shots to close it up, but... If we went a little bit earlier, maybe there was a chance, because they all did leave. We walked a little bit further.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, well.
It's much of a muchness.
Much of a muchness.
It is what it is.
Pistol round goes the way of NRG. Misfits decide to force into it. Sean saving a bit of money there.
I mean, that's not really saving money, because Smoke, 2 flashbangs, that's already $700. That's the same amount as a body armor would be.
Yeah, I guess, actually.
Because he can't buy body armor, so he goes for grenades instead. Some utility to try to be defensive. Devotuvek might have gotten a pick with a USP that allows him to get a smoke. Because otherwise, after you buy body armor, you should be on 1,550.
Yeah, well, whatever. Misfits, TLDR is that they have some stuff to play with. Scout, Shazam, pistols across the board. I mean, NRG are going to be aware of this, I think. It's pretty standard now to just invest into the second round as a CT if you're not winning it.
I think Sick dropped the Scout as well, so that allows Shazam to buy the armor. Because you can't afford a Scout and an armor. Unless you go huge in the pistol round. It's not working out, and so far Breezy finds one. Oh, shot from Sick. With the Deagle, finds Breezy.
Yep,
charging on B. Debo needs to get 1 at the very minimum. Heavy tag on Dap's not good enough, unfortunately. No. Sick is very fast on the rotate. Oh, gets the kill on Dap, so that's the tag member down. 3-3.
So still the AKs are left alive here for NRG, and that's what they need when they're playing at range like this. Fugly and ANJ finding a killer piece, and it is just Sick left alive. He has to back out here. Maybe again can try and save with the Deagle this time, as well as armor and the.
Try to find the Scout as well, but he's being hunted. No, he's just going to back out, so he's not... Maybe he'll be able to retrieve the AK-47. There was an AK lost by Breezy. Sick was able to take him down earlier. I think he is en route to try to reclaim it. And Fugly, I think, is aware of this.
Yes.
I think they've heard each other, so they've just stalled.
And well, that's going to be favourable for NRG, really. If There's no guns. Oh, yeah. So 3 AKs secured through for NRG. Good news. And they secure the anti-eco fairly comfortably as well.
And yeah, this should lead to a 13-5. And I say should, doesn't mean it would.
Yeah, we have said that many times in the past and been wrong many times in the past. So Misfits just on an eco, sick. He does take the Deagle through. There's a little bit of investment into some pistols there from Misfits, but aside from that, really nothing to get too excited about, nothing to write home about. So NRG invested into the double Mac 10. I think Daps saved his through. Breezy would have invested into his after dropping the AK, and NJ has a bit of a happy-go-lucky shot, but not really able to hit that one. Difficult one to hit, obviously.
If you hit the shot on a jumping CT, you're going to be feeling pretty confident. You're going to be feeling very happy about yourself.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So at least he gave it a crack.
Well, you don't miss the shots you don't take. It's just...
It's a saying, Kevin. You're not supposed to read into it.
You know me at this stage.
Unfortunately.
Yes. I don't know why you do it. You know I challenge idioms.
So Black Glove. All right. Well, good start in the round there for NRG again. The Misfits player does get picked off early. They're heading in towards the A bomb site, which is incidentally where no CTs are.
Bomb's actually a B though.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, it'll back off. Okay. I was a little bit scared because it was pushing a little bit forward, and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to be chilling out here. It's still dangerous times because they managed to make their way out underpass, and the bomb has a long way to go. Shazam and Daps. Daps will spray forward and just tag down Shazam. And there it is, Sick finds Fugly. That's an AK retrieved. There's still a CT lurking around right now, which is... Oh, he's going to be found. It was going to be Sean, who could have done some damage, but Sick's now found another kill with the AK-47. That allows Debo Duvek to retrieve another AK. At this stage, Misfits, they have a chance to make it work out. Actually, because Sick has a kit, but I still reckon that saving is more well-advised. So they are going to save the 2 AK-47s. Going to back off, maybe jump on the swings together, have a bit of a party. But no. They look at the swings, they go, we're too mature for it, and then just keep walking forward. Unlike my partner.
Oh. I reckon she's watching right now.
Nah, I doubt it.
No, she liked my tweet, which had a link to the stream, like literally 2 minutes ago.
I still can't believe she called you Skinny Stick.
Well, I mean, it's not wrong.
I know. But at the same time, have you ever been called that before? As just like a name?
One of my ex-girlfriend's mum, she said I was going to blow away in the wind. So
in a strong cyclone, probably?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about that too much longer. NRG do go 13 up. They lose a couple of guns there, though. I mean, they take 2 Mac 10s through, which is like, yeah, cool. But they give a couple of AKs over to Misfits. You know, I mean, it wasn't the worst of rounds for Misfits, all things considered.
But that allows Misfits to have a really good buy right now because with Sick just saving again and again, having the AK-47, that allows the AWP to be passed over to Shazam. Aminex obviously sacrificing a little bit of the economy, so he only has a UMP instead. Still a serviceable defensive side. Obviously, you want more utility. You always do. But this is something where Misfits can try to make it happen. They have to make it happen in this round, otherwise NRG will be up 14-5. Misfits will be back on the eco, or a force buy, and then NRG are in a prime position to close out the game.
NRGG.
That's actually not too bad.
I swear I would not be the first person to say that.
No.
But I've never heard someone say it before, so I'm claiming it. Anyway, NRG trying to gain control of long here, and sending the Mac 10 first. Checking that corner, which is fair enough, but now he's probably not going to get too much done. Needs to just slow down, wait for his team. Bomb's still hanging around in underpass or in connector, I suppose. I have to think NRG's going to rotate back up to the A-bomb site from this point.
And this is the advantage when you're so far ahead. Misfits cannot play in a very aggressive style on the CT side like NRG did. Where NRG, you can see them constantly challenging for positions because they had rounds to play with. Misfits do not have any rounds to play with. They are forced to play defensive, don't have much utility, and taking a very different style to how NRG did it. When NRG didn't have utility, they used numbers to try to take territory. Misfits, they're waiting, playing from information. And there's the first smoke and Molotov coming forward. It's not the ideal position that you want to be playing as Shazam because he's going to be blasted by the AK-47 and the Mac 10 is Cirque. Cirque and Breezy will assist Daps as Daps gets the dinks across with the Mac 10, and you just have to save as Misfits. You're locked down at the bomb site. There's no way in. I mean, why is Sean going for it at this stage? You can't go for it. Yes, scoreline's bad, but you might as well try to save the gun, and Duvek goes, hi, can I comment on unders? And there's 3 guns watching where he's coming out of.
Yeah, so Stick, the last one left alive here. Still hanging around, but shouldn't really be going down here, though ANJ is headed in his direction. So it seems like they're hunting him down and not quite able to win the duel, but does give away his position there. And if he jumps out into the B-bomb site, Breezy's just going to come high-tailing right over to him. He will hear it. Does not win the duel.
Yep, that's NRG up 14-5. They should be in prime position to close out the game.
And Misfits have no dollars. Well, they have a lot of dollars, but not enough at this point.
Pause.
Can maybe get a couple of M4s through there. Will be a very lack of utility for Shazam at least.
It'll be.
I mean, he could probably go body armor, I suppose, and get a little bit, but.
Well, it'll be 3 M4s at most, in terms of money-wise, because one person might be able to buy an M4 without body armor.
Well, yeah.
So you don't want to be doing that.
Don't think so.
I'm assuming it's a Misfits tactical pause. I could also see it as being an NRG tactical pause in the sense that, okay, how do we close it out from here? Last 2 rounds are always the most difficult to close out. We want this to be shot out cleanly. What do we do?
It's definitely a Misfits tac pause. I've received confirmation on that, which would definitely make sense. But coming back from 14-5, I'm not sure that this is going to be really on the cards.
From what we've seen from Misfits on the CT side, no. But it is going to be a force buy, so 2 M4s.
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
it's
not a terrible force buy. Like, they've got all at least got guns. They've all at least got armor, some utility. But definitely not where you want to be.
And Duvek's going to take a stray bullet through the edge of this spray as well from NRG. So it's not a favorable start. That puts you kind of in the 3-shot territory as opposed to 4-shot territory, and sometimes that extra bullet is...
Could be the difference.
Could be the difference, especially in the B site where you're contesting at close range.
Well, for
the amount of times that you do 81 and 3 with the AK-47.
It's a very similar setup, I think, to what NRG was doing last round, where they had a few players making their way up long. Obviously, this time, no one going up long just yet for NRG, but I think they're going to. They have that player in connector, and then they have the guy lurking over towards B, or just holding off for the rotation, with the bomb sitting in the connector between T-spawn and playground. So, fairly standard, fairly similar from NRG as to what they did last round. I think a little bit slower, though, in this one. And not really getting as much control up through long. So that could be a cause for concern, given there's actually a player there, or 2 players almost.
I think they're... NRG most likely suspect that Misfits have forced up or have pistols, so they are going to be taking a lot slower, but Amanek with this push has completely cleared out long A, it's completely cleared out Fountain and gone. They are not stacking up for an A site take through, you know, long A, and he's on the hard lurk, on the hard flank. He might be heard out by Fugly though, maybe not, because Amanek deciding where he wants to go. Maybe he's been heard out, but NRG are going to be charging on the B-bomb site. Misfits, final chance of the dice. They're going to be swinging. They're going to be landing the shot so far. Daps only finding 1 kill. Fugly coming a little bit late to short, but oh my goodness, Fugly through the smoke takes down Duvek. Sick somehow still alive, and while Fugly should shortly be caught out, he doesn't know where the enemy is, and Sick, what is going on? Fugly gets caught out completely by surprise. Not enough time for NRG to work with. They left it a little bit too late. That was a really messy round.
Yeah, that was just crazy.
Oh my goodness.
My goodness indeed. It's not really going to leave Misfits in much of a better position, given that they lose both of the M4s that they had, although they have an AK here. So, I mean, they'll get 1 rifle through, 2 rifles through. Okay, Shazam's got 1. So, I guess it is a little bit better. They've got more utility. They've got head armor on everyone, except Stick. But it's still, you know, not a great buy really out from them. They could definitely be better. So, NRG still with a pretty good shot here in this round. Just need to play that last one out. Play it out like the last one, but maybe a bit better. If they would have had more time faster, there, I think they probably, well, I don't know, it's hard to say.
They left it a little late. They lost control of a lot of territory, and then by the time that you lose the territory, it's the CTs can stack and kind of gamble, and ANJ going to be making a contact play, which will catch out Duvek off guard. Not even a contact play, sorry, just a solo lurk play. And somehow it works. A very risky play. High risk, high reward, though, because Misfits down a number.
Yep.
ANJ looking to push forward again, almost catching the price. Yeah. He's alive, but burns extra utility, forces more attention his way, and Amanek, so much work for him to do right now with the UMP.
Well, NRG did check this angle last time, but maybe he's going to push and catch him off guard. Not quite though. Breezy and used for Shazam. He's used up all of his bullets almost, and he goes down anyway, fully flashed out. Daps gets the kill. not looking good. The A takes have been pretty straightforward, really, for NRG, particularly when Breezy's just popping heads.
Yeah, and Sean's just made his position known as well, so he just has to... He's surrounded from all angles. They're watching his smokes very carefully. 4v1, what do you do with Sean? There's nothing you can do but back out and hope you can get a few kills with the UMP. Can't even save a rifle at this time.
Maybe he can find a frag and save a rifle. Like, if he can get Breezy here, there's probably a way out for him. That would involve pushing up into a bank, which I feel like he's probably not going to do at this point.
15-6. That's been absolutely dominating so far for NRG. They're going to be cleaning it out, which is good to see. You don't want to be kind of struggling, letting rounds bleed away.
No, not really. So he won't be able to save any rifles. Best case is going to be saving that UMP, which is, I mean, really at this point, not what you want.
No, he left it too late because it's too close to the bomb. And
well, that is, I think, the game summed up, really.
Yeah. Close, but yeah, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
That's not how the saying goes, but...
Dead in the dirty water.
I actually learned the saying, apparently, close but no cigar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Apparently it's like... Before?
No, I've heard it before, but I was like wondering about the origin, because you know me at this stage. I always wondered the origin of the stories. Yeah,
tell us.
Apparently the origin is like back during the fairs or whatnot, back in 2 centuries ago, about so.
Okay.
The prize was a cigar, apparently. It's like, because it's considered kind of a vintage item, you know, high class item.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you came close, but you didn't win, you wouldn't get the cigar, so close but no cigar.
Right.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's 100% truth at the stage, but...
Who knows?
That's
anyway, what I know the truth is that NRG are now 1 player up here in this round. AJ getting the pick. Sean is going to go for a peek and try and find some frags, try and trade it back, but really all he's going to do is sacrifice a fair chunk of his HP. So NRG are really in a great spot right now. I mean, obviously Misfits, you can tell by looking at yourself that they don't have a good buy here. They've lost a player already. They've got not much HP on 1 player. Fugly, just gets absolutely demolished by Shazam, who maybe has some semblance of control here now on the A-bomb site. The stick goes down to A&J. The rotation is not working there for Amanek in terms of the second man spray down. He did get 1, but it's just not enough at this point. Misfits have lost so much up to it. Unless Sean can come up big with this CZ, which he cannot, I think that's going to be the round over.
Yep, that should be game as well. So we're looking at a 1-1 split, which is the expected result, but they take each other's map picks instead, which was probably the unexpected result. 16-6, pretty clean game. Sorry, not close games, clean games today.
Yep.
16-8, 16-6, which is a departure from the usual.
Definitely. Normally we see some fairly long games, even, you know, like we sort of expected coming into this, that these two teams were going to be fairly evenly matched, given how close they are on the standings, given their past history between each other, all that kind of jazz. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess they technically are. Like, it's it's a 1-1, and then, you know, they're both fairly comfortable map victories, but I thought that the maps would go a bit longer.
Yes, especially Overpass, I think, given it was like a 5-10 half, starting CT side should be able to get a few more rounds. Didn't work out because NRG played a lot better on their T side.
Yeah.
I felt like that was the confidence factor coming in from the CT side. So that was, I think, instrumental for both sides. Starting on the CT side just got their confidence up. They took the aim deals and they carried that forward towards their T side, and they just completely blasted the opposition. You can see A&J towards the end just solo walking out.
Yeah.
He was confident taking deals. You wouldn't have seen that in Mirage, for example. Because when they started T-side, they didn't have the confidence to make those plays.
Definitely.
They didn't have the rounds in their pocket to kind of go, you know what, I can kind of throw away a couple of hundreds and, you know, still be fine.
Yeah, well, it was a great scenario, really, for NRG in Overpass. I mean, I wonder how the day would have gone had, let's say, Misfits started on the T side of Mirage and then started on the CT side of Overpass. I mean, would we have had a 1-1 again, but split Mirage, Overpass going the way of NRG and Misfits, respectively? So... always interesting to kind of consider those kinds of things, but obviously at the end of the day, it is a 1-1 regardless. I mean, for both teams, that's not too bad. I don't know if it's enough, though, for NRG to get their way into that top 6. I think they're still top 6, but I don't know if they're going to stay there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it depends on a couple of percentages and whatnot.
Yeah, it's still a lot to go because there's still a couple of match days. So, I mean, at this point, maybe it's not even worth theory crafting, but...
There's only a couple of match days left, so I mean, there was a sheet out there which has all the scenarios listed and the percentage chances of the teams making it. And I think outside of the top 6 teams that we'll talk about earlier on, it's the other teams have barely any chance of making it. Renegades had the best chance, and it was like a 31.8%.
Oh, 31's not actually that bad, to be honest.
But when you look at it holistically out of 100%, 3 out of 10 chances, you wouldn't be putting your money on it.
No, probably not. Anyway. I guess it depends on how they went today, and we'll find out. Obviously, I've got no idea right now.
Well, they went overtime against Ghost. No, Rogue, sorry.
Rogue, yeah, which is a point lost minimum.
Which is bad already, because you needed every single point.
Exactly. But, I mean, if they can still 2-0 that, who knows? They may be still in with a shot. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it enough. But overall, for Misfits, I think that was a pretty good day. Like, to be able to get that one.
I think it was a good day.
Put them in a really good spot.
Good day for both sides in terms of results. Because for NRG, it was, I think NRG had less chances. I can't remember if they were the team in the top 6 or not in the top 6.
Yeah.
But it's like, for the team that, like Misfits, I think was kind of 100% secured already. So that was kind of like routine in the park where it's like, yeah, we got our 1 point very early on. You can see it probably an overpass, they kind of put their foot off the pedal because it wasn't as important for them anymore. You don't want to be revealing strats on your map pick necessarily at this stage.
Probably not.
Given the amount of tournaments that you're going to be playing coming forward, potential like EPL now, I think is locked in for Misfits. Got other tournaments coming up for Misfits as well who are just on not a meteoric rise, but, a steady rise up there. Yeah. So they don't want to be utilizing the 6 strategies they have an Overpass. Because I think Overpass, they picked it just in case NRG took Mirage. They would have been like, okay, we know some of the things that we need to do. On the T side, they just did the same thing again and again. It's just it just felt to me like, okay, we'll try this, but we're not going to try and give our 100% all.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this map. Overall, whatever. Like, it's all 1-1. It's definitely not too bad for them. Having a look at how things went, Renegades did end up closing that one out against Rogue in the overtime. Haven't started map number 2 by the looks of things, so that must have taken them a little bit of a while. Anyway, for us, 16-8 on map number 1 of Mirage goes the way of Misfits. 16-6 on Overpass goes the way of NRG. So each team, as you said earlier, picking up their opponent's choice, but still 1-1. Can't really complain about that for either of these teams.
No, I mean, like I said, both teams will be happy about the result in terms of how they performed. I think in the maps that they won, on the maps that they lost, I don't think Misfits once again are 2 down, but NRG will be taking a look at their T side and going, okay, we ran a lot of basic strats, but what can we do to tweak to improve from here?
Yeah.
And I think that's the more important thing coming in towards the final part of the season. NRG are by no means relegated out of the league, but oh no. They want to be pushing for Season 7, I reckon. They want to be making finals. This is a roster that has a lot of potential. They have to stick consistent.
Yep.
I've seen too many times NRG is such a strong start to the season, the chop and change. They stayed same this season. That's good to see.
Yep.
Continue with this lineup. Get them to, like, they're putting in the hours, they're putting the effort. Put faith in this lineup, and I reckon they'll reward you with a top 6 in the next season.
Well, we shall have to find out next season, though, but I mean, that's going to be the end of us for today, really. Obviously, you can see there we don't have a second matchup, so if you want to see more, you can go have a look on the other stream. Obviously, there's going to be more match days coming up after this one as well. That'll be tomorrow, I believe.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, Misfits and Ghost are maybe a little bit of a mismatch there, but that's really the opportunity there for Misfits to really get those points on the board and really secure their place in the top 6.
And at the same time, Misfits can't really underestimate Ghost as well, because Ghost will be trying to swing with all they have. Yeah. I mean, Ghost were able to take Splice towards 5 maps in another tournament recently, so they were able to take Splice to 5 maps. So by no means can Misfits just underestimate them and go, it should be clean 2-0. Ghost have upset Renegades, they have upset Liquid. Maybe Misfits their next upset, who knows?
Who knows? I guess we find out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, the viewers will find out.
We will as well.
We'll
be the viewers.
As we watch it as well, because you won't see us, I think, for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
for the regular season.
Peace.
Well, we're not leaving just yet.
Not yet, but
any parting? What do you mean, peace? That's not an Australian thing to say.
See you, mate. How's that?
See you, mate. See you, mate. That's probably more Australian.
Yeah, I mean, no parting words. I'm not one of those guys, Kevin.
Because you'll see us again? Is that your thoughts? Or?
Yeah, we'll probably be back next
week. We're like a bad penny, as the Americans will say. We'll be rolling back around. But that's it for us from Australia. That's it for the B stream today and probably for the regular season. Until then, take care and everyone have a good evening.